front till you get my meals. I'm gunning for the money, money in the bank. Coming with a dank, scrolling in the tank, rolling with the gang. You sitting out on the sideline tripping. I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin. Yeah. I'm okay.
What up, though? Welcome back to Woodwardsports.com. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by my guy Spin Mo Rex.
What up, though?
We got young Chris in the TV booth, a.k.a. Cousin Chris, joining us.
Hell no.
Young JB Smooth.
No cousins in my family.
I told Chris in the back that I made him, jokingly. He's like, you ain't make me. You ain't make him. Bro, you're not even anything to, like... No offense.
You're staking your claim early.
I guess.
You know it when you see it.
I guess.
It's all good. Shout out Elon.
You ever work on that Elon elevator pitch?
Yeah, for sure.
Can we hear it?
Nah.
My dog ate it. We got a big show packed for you guys. $5?
Yeah, it's over.
Over.
And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with this kid?
Well, Elon's be like, oh, this is the next generation of AI.
Yeah.
You're a bot. We made you.
That's what I'm saying.
We built you, left a little extra water in your ears, but I mean, it's cool.
That AI slapper with Drake and Weeknd, did you guys hear that?
Did you hear that? That shit was crazy.
Yeah, it's just dope.
I have so many questions.
Putting the rap game out of business.
So many questions. Like, first and foremost, I guess, like, how's that going out? Like, do you write the verse and then, like, you let them, the AI just sings it in their voices? Or, like, does AI write in its own verse and everything?
Probably writes the own verse and everything.
That's scary.
Yeah, because the AI will...
Because it had some bars in there.
Yeah, the AI will literally just, like, go through an algorithm of all of the artist's, like, discography and then just make a song based off of that artist. So it's like nowadays it's like industry plants and all those terms, like it's gonna be so easy. Like, dude, if you don't know how to make a song, you can literally just use that as a template to make a song. So it's gonna be big, and it's gonna be something that I think is gonna cause a lot of problems.
Yeah, it's Skynet, baby.
What'd you say?
Skynet.
What's that?
It's the thing that wanted to destroy the world. Terminator.
Oh, wow.
It's the whole thing that started it.
Damn. Yeah,
That's what it's all about.
I saw
Just waiting on it.
what's the label that owns Drake stuff? Is it
Universal.
Universal?
They own 1/3 of music.
They already put like a
Jesus.
request or copyright thing for it to use its like existing music or whatever. After that, like immediately after that. Actually, no. Actually, immediately after Drake's Munch.
After Munch, which that was hilarious.
That was hilarious.
He sounded so spicy.
The only thing I'll say is that it literally made a it made a bop.
You sounded spicy saying that.
You did sound pretty spicy just saying that.
You were like, he sounded so spicy.
But not as spicy as Drake
got so
sounded.
excited.
Drake sounded so spicy. It's funny.
What I was gonna say though is like, to the AI thing, bars. I don't know. I forgot what the hell I was honestly gonna say.
I don't know, but I'm just waiting on it. Just another sign. Societal collapse.
Yeah, I guess so.
We're gonna have to hunt and gather.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. It didn't have the Weeknd's voice
the
like
machines.
perfect, but it still had like bars within it. Like the Weeknd's verse when that, because Drake in his verse had heart in my sleeve, a knife in my back, and then but Weeknd's was like heart in my sleeve, a city in my back. She said she's from Toronto but can't show me on a map. I was like, bro, like it was snapping. I was like, this is insane.
Yeah, he was like Selena, pull up with my ex just to flex.
Yeah, bro, I'm like,
and these AIs are only going to get better too. Like that's the thing. They're all about self-improvement. So
they're gonna take our job.
Yeah,
one commented on one of our posts. Yeah, remember with after Jeff Okuda was like said exactly word for word like one of our takes was like you don't have on the 5th year option, then we're gonna pick it up anyway. And AI had the exact same take, but it was posted obviously after the trade went down, so we knew it was AI. But like if I'd posted that beforehand, I'd been like, yeah, this guy knows his shit. There's actually a girl.
Yeah, it was like subscribe to my OnlyFans.
Yeah, that shit,
bro. Shit's just gonna happen, man. I'm telling you. We're gonna have to fight the robots. I'm down for it. I'm always ready to fight a robot.
Fight them, or if you've seen Westworld,
oh man,
fuck them.
You can fuck them too. Just saying. I might be looking forward to that day.
Westworld's dope. Westworld's dope.
Westworld is dope.
Yeah. What if there's just a bunch of robot Tiana Trumps walking around?
Like fire. Like that's my dream come true.
Civilization.
That's how I die in my dreams.
Yeah,
suffocation. Well, fuck you, me.
You're not supposed to die in your dreams.
You're right. You actually don't die in your dreams. You wake up every time.
Yeah.
Which trips me out every time I do wake up from one because I'm like, oh fuck.
I hate when I fall in my dreams.
Yeah.
Oh, that's freaky.
The worst.
The trippiest one I ever had was I was like in my old neighborhood, like where I grew up in as a kid, and like someone was trying to like steal our car, and then it shot me. That's how I woke up after I got shot.
Yeah.
But it was so like real. Like it was like, I don't know. It was a trippy ass dream. I'll never forget that one.
I've had some weird dreams, but not like trippy weird, like actually weird, like random shit going on weird.
Oh yeah, everyone has those. Because it's like when you try to describe your dream, nothing goes in sequence because dreams are just like wild like
Yeah,
that.
it's just all over the place.
Yeah, like, we're in this room talking. The next thing you know, we're flying on a dragon together. Also, I got to say this before I forget. Tiana Trump got some work done on her face. Not feeling it.
You thought I was feeling you?
A little heartbroken. Not that she cares.
Oh, you thought I was feeling you?
And I shot my shot at Ice Spice this weekend too.
What does that mean? Did you DM her?
Yeah. She dropped that new song with Nicki, Princess Diana. The
video was crazy.
The video's fire.
Yeah.
Video's absolutely
Did
fire.
you see the post that was like, God, I'd have to send a flood to get me out of this room?
Yeah. Dead ass though.
Bro, for real.
But in the song, she said something like, "You better come at me like a fan" or something like that. And I was like, "Oh, all right."
Came at her like a fan.
Yeah, I remember what I said.
Can you name 4 of her songs?
Yeah, actually, I can. Munch. The one's actually a feature, but it's that I hate it. I hate the chorus on it. The Liar song, because it sounds like she's saying "layup." Layup.
Oh yeah.
And then yeah, I'll do Princess Diana now. That's cheating. And there's a 4th one that I do know, but I just don't know the name of it.
You're not a
That
fan.
da-da-da one?
Yes.
Talking
forget
about
the name of
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
That one's
Hey,
hard.
Ice Spices.
Yeah, she's fine.
Fire.
She's fire.
She's
She's
fine,
fire.
but I'm mad she signed to Nicki.
She signed to Nicki?
Yeah, Nicki
Yeah.
about to end her career.
Wow.
Nicki about to end that shit.
That's a mistake.
Yeah.
Nikki is like jealous like that. I've
Yeah.
noticed. Like anytime there's ever been like a new artist, and
Isn't
Nikki
she,
like
like,
starts
50
some
years
shit
old?
with it. Yeah, Nikki's like 40 something.
Yeah.
And
She's still fine.
Ice Spice still better than her because she's natural. For Nikki, it's all.
How do you know?
How do I know?
Yeah.
Her ass looks like a fucking saggy diaper.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Anyway,
I don't know. It's just getting just as good as those BBLs are getting just as good as AI. So you might not be able to tell anymore.
are they? Well, yeah, we felt one. It was fire.
Yeah.
That one actually was fire. I'm not
Yeah?
gonna lie. That was my biggest concern. I don't like the. What's Drake say? Let them hang, babe. I love the way they hang, babe. Fuck the silicone. That's truly how I feel. But if they enhance the boobs so I feel real,
Yeah.
then I'll be down with them. Until now, I'm straight.
Yeah.
Shit's-
I like the old naturals.
Yeah, all
That's the way
naturals.
to go. Swing low, sweet chariot.
We could swing that into something else that you put in the group
Nope.
chat. I don't know if you want to talk about
Do
that
not
one.
want to talk about that. I
All right,
saw
cool.
you put that in the prep. I was like,
All
bro,
right.
what are you doing?
I don't know. You said it, so I didn't know if it's something you want
I
to talk
know.
about.
I said it in the fuckboys chat, not
Yeah.
the BD or not the heavyweights chat.
Well, I don't know. All right, we'll bring it on to sports then. We are a sports show, and that's what we do here. By the way, Connor Rogers from PFF and NBC will be joining the show later on today at 5:40. I was talking Detroit Lions draft and some amongst other things. But before we get on the road with Detroit sports, I do want to acknowledge Max Holloway as, I don't even know at this point. I put on my Twitter like the assistant champion to the featherweight champion.
Yeah.
'Cause, like,
Assistant to the champ.
yeah, this guy has beaten every single person they want to make a number one contender for Volk. Max just destroys him.
Yeah.
Every single time.
He just can't beat Volk.
He just can't beat Volk.
I mean,
Which, by the way,
he got dog walked by Volk too.
the 3rd time.
Yeah.
What do you think the 2nd time in
Second
Abu
time
Dhabi?
Volk still won.
See, I thought Max won in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
But it was close. I can't deny it was close.
I'll give it to Volk.
Yeah.
Third time though, he dismantled that man.
Fought Arnold Allen this weekend. Arnold Allen was Max Holloway's chin is insane.
Yes.
Makes no sense. This guy gets cracked, gets rocked every single time. Never been dropped his entire UFC career.
Mm-hmm.
He's absorbed the most strikes. He's now had the highest output. I think he's among like 300,000 now, or 300. I'm sorry, 3,000.
300,000.
300,000. No, 3,000. Max Holloway is. I mean, unfortunately, if it weren't for Volk, he'd be goated.
Mm-hmm.
Got to meet him, by the way, too, before the Volk fight. He's about to fight Frankie in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And I kept asking him, I was like, what do you think about the Aussie? He's like, can't disrespect Frankie, cousin. Like, I got to take my cupcakes one at a time. He should have fucking listened. Should have fucking listened,
Should have
Max.
thought of the Aussie.
I tried to fucking warn you, bro.
Yeah.
Also, super cool guy. I think I told the story before already, but he was out, like, just sweeping, like, the outside. Like, barefoot. I don't know, dude. He's a champion at the time. Like, just act like a normal-ass student. That's
Regular
dope.
ass dude.
Yeah, that's super cool of him. But, yeah, fortunately, Max, I don't know what the fuck. He should move to 155. What does he do?
I don't know. He's got to slay the dragon. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like he's not a guy that's gonna just give up like that.
Yeah. But
Is
UFC,
Dana just gonna keep throwing him at him?
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to do a 4th? Like, you can't really.
You're
know?
0-3. Like,
Yeah.
it's the 4th.
I hope, if anything, at least he's just getting paid. I
Then
hope
if
he's
he-
getting
then
fat
if he-
checks.
Wins, they'd have to do a 5th.
Yeah. Yeah. It sucks, too, because Max is... Volk just got his number, man.
Yeah.
Volk's got his number.
Mm-hmm.
Literally every single person they try... Because they're trying to catapult them to, like, facing Volk for the belt.
Yeah.
And Max is like, I'm still here.
Yeah.
Still me.
You gotta get past me first.
Still him, bud.
I love Max, man.
I love Max too, man. I hope he just, for me at this point, I'd rather him just go try to make a move to 155, but like take the time to put on the weight, like healthy, you know. Maybe he has power at 155.
I mean, he could. He's got the the frame for it. Like,
yeah, because he's always big.
Yeah, you could put on the weight.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man.
Yeah.
What if Volk just follows him?
That'd be fucking. That'd be fucked.
Because
could.
Volk looked pretty good at 155.
He looked damn good. He looked damn good. Like Islam, if I'm not mistaken, has like 1 or 2 losses. I know he has 1 for sure.
Yeah.
Other than that, like I've never seen anyone like that competitive with Islam. Also, he's never really faced too many like top tier guys though. But Volk is still fucking him.
Yeah.
No doubts about it. Do you have that video? Speaking of fights, Russell Westbrook. Can we play that real quick?
Yeah, that was crazy.
This was crazy.
Watch him out. Take it like a man. Watch him out, motherfucker. Watch him out. Say it like that. Watch him out. That's the man. Talk about it. Be about it.
Just so much going on.
How did he get it? Like, did he follow that guy in there?
Can you play it one more time without sound? I'm curious. It could be like, the Lions have it like where like you could see the players heading into the court or onto the field. Maybe something like that, but there's just open, I guess.
Yeah, here, I'll play it this time without the sound.
Yeah.
Where it's like a players club area, kind of.
Yeah,
that's probably what it is, but like...
Because you see the court when he walks
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
through that hallway.
So many ways to look at this one. First...
I'm running my ones.
Why has he got his jersey like a crop top?
Bro, he was holding his nuts too. Like, he was really like trying to bang just now, but like, you don't want to.
I'm running my ones.
Yeah.
That man is paid.
That's what I'm saying.
He's got one of the fattest contracts in the NBA.
I'm calling you a bitch until you prove you're not.
Yeah.
Like, especially, too, if that's my son. That's Bryce in that situation. Like, you pull up on me like that, like, I gotta, like, you can't let you, like, try to punk me in front of my son either, bro. That's kind of like, no, Russ is wilding right there. Yeah. What if that dude, by the way, like, in the, Players Club, got some bread, Phoenix, Cartel, he's connected. I'm just saying. I'm just saying Russ might have a whole nother problem because like he just let it go. Like he's gonna finish it off later. I don't know. That shit was crazy.
I don't know.
Russ is definitely an issue now. Before it was like maybe fans have issues with Russ. It's definitely.
Oh yeah.
Definitely Russ.
Bro, he was yelling at people's families in the bubble.
Yeah.
He was talking shit to little girls in the bubble.
Really?
Yeah, bro.
Damn, man. Commissioner JB, how we fix it?
Commissioner Spike.
How do you fix that?
Yeah.
I don't know. You gotta start kicking out fans now, which apparently LeBron's pretty good at. So.
Yeah, Russ pretty good at it too.
Yeah, Russ is good at it too.
He's the one guy in Utah. I think he had 2 guys in Utah. If I'm not mistaken. Chris.
What? How do you fix it?
How do you fix it? What do you just think of the whole situation?
Oh, I personally don't care.
Yeah, I don't either.
Honestly, it's as long as you got proper security so that it doesn't escalate into something that either puts the player in danger or the person like. I don't really care. It's all for that's what makes Russ, that competitiveness. So I don't really care too much. It's not a big deal to me. People talk shit like
I think it is
I'm
a
gonna
big
talk
deal.
shit
Like,
back.
relax, bro.
Russ.
Yeah, you don't gotta be fucking running up on fans. It just makes you look like an idiot.
Yeah, plus like I mean they're paying to be there. Like that's not like they shouldn't be like it's just it's shit talk. Unless he was saying something about his family or something like that. I guess like I could see you escalating from there, but like that's what happens.
Yeah.
Like, we're all. What do you think was gonna fucking happen in Phoenix? They're going, oh, Russ.
Yeah, great job.
Go get him, Russ.
They're probably like, why don't you shoot some more, Russ?
Yeah. By the way,
Bro's like 3-19.
Playoffs starting off hot.
Yeah.
Has it been lit for you guys? It's been lit.
They've been
I
fired.
love NBA playoffs.
Clippers Sun series, I think is gonna be
Sunday. Every home team lost except for the Nuggets.
Yeah, usually like you get those, but it's like doesn't really mean nothing. It ends up being like a gentleman's sweep or something like that. But these ones generally feel like they're gonna be competitive series. Although Memphis just lost Ja, but Memphis is still good without Ja. They've been without him a few times.
Yeah, I mean Tyus Jones is probably the best backup point guard in the league. So
yeah. Well, we gotta go to break. More to talk about when we get back, but not before Smitty tells you guys about Lady Jane's.
I will, because you can walk into any Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not 1, but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right. 2 cars, 1 for you and 1 for your wife, girlfriend, or best bud. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
You've heard of Gordon Ramsay. You've heard of Bobby Flay. But Thursday night Master Chef Brad Holmes will be in the kitchen with all of the ingredients needed to make a great dish on draft night. Join Woodward Sports for our 3rd annual Woodward Sports Draft Party, live at 5th Avenue in Royal Oak. The past 2 years, these parties have been standing room only, so get your tickets early at eventbrite.com. Don't miss out on all the fun with Braylon Edwards, Ryan Ermanni, Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, and the entire Woodward Sports crew. The party starts at 7:30 p.m. Don't miss the biggest draft party in the Motor City, brought to you by the biggest network, Woodward Sports.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan.
Join the Pepper Club for all the best deals in town. Plus, they will beat all competitors by $5. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. Hottest bulbs, hottest deals, darkest tans. Your vitamin D headquarters.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Draft time is here, you guys. Make sure you come party with the Woodward Heavyweights and the rest of the Woodward Sports crew down at 5th Ave. If you guys live here locally in Michigan, you know 5th Avenue is the spot to be. I sold 2 tickets this morning. I promise you guys it's going to be lit. Thought we were lit last year. This is like where we go routinely just to party without the draft even being a thing. And by the way, you know it's going to be a party either way because Brad Holmes is taking over the world. Make sure you guys are there. April 27th, 7:30, the party starts. It's going to be food. It's going to be drinks. We're going to have a DJ, of course. All the crew's going to be there. And we just celebrating Brad Holmes taking over the world. Make sure you guys are there. I got the link actually for that posted onto a tweet I shot out.
Yeah, I posted it on my Twitter too.
Cool. Remix the graphic, by the way. How you gonna throw a party and not put the heavies on the graphic? Come on, Roman. What are we doing? Just saying. What up, though? Welcome back to WoodwardSports.com. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by my guy Spin Mo Rex.
What up, though?
We are the Woodward Heavyweights. We got young Chris Plotty in the TD booth. I made him. We have JB Smooth on the ones and twos. You ain't shit yet. You're right. I ain't make shit.
Yeah, you ain't make shit. Go ahead, stake your claim early.
I'm not stating. I mean, you ain't shit to speak on. But I saw a comment in the Woodward Sports chat, which is something I did want to address today, but I didn't know how to make it like its own standalone topic. But I don't know who commented, but they said Detroit Lions going to trade up for Will Anderson. And I think you and I discussed this last week too. And this is an open question to the audience and then you guys too. I can't think of a single time a team has ever traded into the top 3 of an NFL draft and took a defensive player with that pick. I think any time an NFL team's ever traded into the top 3, it's almost always been for the quarterback. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying the Detroit Lions are going to do it, but things are kind of pointing that way through some recent news today, Smitty.
No, yeah, you're looking at how Carolina is basically drafting Bryce Young. After Bryce Young's meeting with the Panthers, he canceled all of his other meetings because he feels like the Panthers are going to take him #1 overall. So I think you look at that. You look at Arizona shopping their pick, and now reportedly the Texans are shopping their pick because as we said last week, the Texans aren't really interested in another quarterback other than Bryce Young. So those top 3 picks, you don't really know who's going to be picking there just yet outside of Carolina. And the Lions were reportedly one of the teams that called Arizona to see if they could trade up to that 3 or what it would take for them to trade up to that 3. And I agree with you. I don't think you're moving up in the draft if you're not taking a quarterback. I think when you're moving up to that top 3 spot, whether it be 2 or 3, you're going to take a quarterback. And I don't know if the Lions are going to do that. I don't expect the Lions to do that. I do expect them to pick at 6, but we'll see. Anything is possible. Kevin Garnett, like the Brad Holmes, this man does whatever he wants, and you never know what he's going to do. So
yeah,
we'll see.
It's part of the genius of Brad Holmes. Just keeps him guessing. You never know. But I'm with you too. I don't expect the Detroit Lions to make a move to 2 or 3. But if they did, I think it's going to be quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be quarterback for the reasons that, again, it's just connected out from last week. Them meeting with Bryce Young, them calling on number 3 just to see what's up, and kind of correlates to what this topic was originally supposed to be. Jared Goff's got to get paid at some point.
Yeah.
And the quarterback market, the contracts these guys are getting paid.
It's pretty wild.
Pretty fucking wild.
Yeah, you guys saw our thumbnail. Jalen Hurts just got $51 million a year. $255 million, 179, almost 180 of it fully guaranteed. So these guys are getting bags. These guys are getting paid. And we'll see what goes on with Jared Goff, but you can't expect him to get under $45 million a year after his contract's up.
Not at all. Especially if, like, last year, definitely proud of the way Jared Goff played for his football team.
1,000%.
I expected him to have a good year. I actually compared it to, like, even the 2018 team when this show very first started, and I was laughed at for it. But all the weapons he's given, plus the belief that I had in Ben Johnson at that time, I expected that. We saw pieces of that before that season ended last year, or 2 years ago, 2021. But if he continues to have these types of seasons on top of that, Spinny, he might be asking for that 50. If he's going to continue to play the way he's played underneath Ben Johnson, I mean, the numbers are pretty. They're undeniable. They rank amongst the top 10.
Yeah.
It's some of these, I'm not gonna call him crazy actually, because like he has the season with LA, and he had the season last year. So if people want to put him in the top 10, I have no issue with that. But do you want to pay him top 10, top 5 money?
I do not.
I mean, he's already technically, and this is the back half of his deal, yes, but the 5th highest paid this year with his cap hit. I don't know how that's going to sort itself after we see, what Jalen Hurts falls under, and who else signed a deal? Daniel Jones, I know, and
Derek Carr, Geno Smith.
Yep, those guys. Actually, I know Geno's not going to high this year. I think Daniel Jones is low this year too. So yeah, Jared Goff, as we speak right now, is the 5th highest cap hit in the league. I'm sorry, guys, just not. In my opinion, you're not winning a Super Bowl with that type of contract, with that type of player at least. Maybe if that player is Patrick Mahomes, it's not a question. You can win a Super Bowl with a player like Patrick Mahomes in that type of deal.
Yeah, he's proven it.
He's proven it, and there's just so much evidence behind it. And again, back to like them possibly trading up, or even Stroud possibly falling now too, because it's crazy how this draft just shakes up. At this point, though, I feel like some of it is like a little BS, just because you're almost running out of saying the same shit. I mean, we know personally, we do it every day. Sometimes you get sick of saying the same shit,
Yeah.
so you got to shake it up, or at least buy into a little bit of the crazy news, because like
they're taking Calais Cansey, 6th overall.
Yeah, you just want to talk about something else at some point. But I don't know, man. I think how this deal, how it relates to the Detroit Lions, I think it means you got to take a quarterback these next 2 years.
For
you
sure.
have to.
For sure.
Otherwise, you're fucked.
Yeah. If you don't, you have no other options. It's either pay Jared Goff or pay somebody else. And they've talked about wanting to draft a guy and develop a guy. They've talked about wanting to improve that room. They've talked about Jared Goff not being here forever and him buying them some time. This is the time that he bought you. Now that you're going into the last 2 years of his deal, he's not going to get paid less. Like, I saw people on Twitter and Instagram like, yeah, $25 million a year, I'm cool with that. Like, you know who's not cool with that? Jared Goff is not cool with that. It's going to take him a lot more money than that if you want to grab him. It's getting closer to 50 than it is to 40. That's for sure. And I'm not comfortable with that. I've already said it multiple times. The only person I'd be comfortable with paying that much money is Patrick Mahomes. Yep. Because he's proven that he is an absolute game changer, can put a team on his back, and what he can do can win you games in the playoffs, can win you games in the Super Bowl. Like, he is a game-changing talent. Jared Goff had a great year last year. He's not a game-changing talent.
And if I gotta be honest with you too, like you said, game-changing talent. Like, I don't think Jalen Hurts is like, he had an amazing year last year too, but I also look at the talent around him, including his offensive line, including A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, who's a tight end that I'm forgetting the name of off the top of my head.
Dallas Goedert.
Thank you. Like, that's a star-studded cast to have around him. And at some point, because it gave him that type of deal, they may not be able to, sustain that amount of success. Because not only did they have those pieces around him, and eventually you're going to have to either pay them or let them go or trade them, however you want to look at it.
Their defense was crazy.
Defense was crazy too, but they also lost the coordinators to both that offense and the defense. Mm-hmm. So I'm very curious. The one part that was interesting to me, because I've witnessed, or I thought that Philly was one of those organizations where, like, they're kind of in the new age era where they didn't want to pay quarterbacks as much when they drafted Hurts while they had Wentz.
Yeah. And
they did it with a new regime this year, being successful. But they put a no trade clause in that Jalen Hurts contract as well, which made it interesting. Because with Wentz, you were still able to trade him. You paid him a fuck ton of money.
Well, the no trade clause is just that he has to approve of if he gets traded.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, Wentz didn't have that, so like they were able to get the money off, and they did. With Hurts, is like, now you have to go through him to, be able to move on from that type of deal.
They're putting a lot of faith in him. It's, I mean, good for him. Get your bag, get paid.
Yeah, for sure.
Jeez, like, you just paid Lane Johnson $30 million for what is probably going to be his final season in the NFL. Jason Kelsey is on the verge of retirement as well.
Lane Johnson on the verge of retirement too.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
And it's not looking good. You already lost a bunch of guys in that defense. You couldn't hold on to Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. You couldn't hold on to any of your linebackers. You couldn't hold on to Hargrave. It's tough. They're not going to be able to just throw cash at guys, and if they don't win a Super Bowl next year, that window gets much, much smaller.
And I saw it today too. It's funny. I was always called crazy for my 12% theory. And I saw Pod post an article of like why the Lions would move up to number 3. And the scenario was the one we painted last week and drafting C.J. Stroud. And within that article was a tweet. And I should have sent it to Chris. I apologize for not doing so, but it was a list of quarterbacks that have won the Super Bowl since 2009, and only Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady hit that 12.2 and over. It's not a dig at Goff. It's just like the reality of the situation and the fucking history.
It's how it works.
Of the cap space. It's how it's been.
It's how football works. It's how this stuff works. And how many times do we got to say it? When you've seen Jared Goff at his best is when you surround him with excellent talent and playmakers, and when you're paying somebody $40 million plus, you're not able to afford that luxury. I'd rather pay Amon-Ra St. Brown, Aiden Hutchinson, and Penei Sewell the combined total of what a quarterback is getting paid now. Like those 3 guys, that's $50 million.
Yeah.
You got to think 22 to 25 for Penei, 20 for Aiden, and then another 10 for Amon-Ra.
Yeah. If not more. When you have a quarterback on a rookie deal, like you can afford those types of contracts. It's a team game.
Yep.
It's kind of like when you're building that 2K player and like you have to take off certain percentages of like shooting to increase his ball handling, to make a complete player that you can do everything with, instead of just going all in on one certain skill set. It's the same way with the football team with the cap space, in my opinion. That's a weird analogy to make, but it makes sense to me.
Yeah, it's true.
It made sense to me.
You and Marvin Bagley would have crazy chemistry too.
Facts.
You and Marvin Bagley have crazy chemistry.
The lobs will be wild.
Dame Dollar.
He'll never be Dame Dollar.
If you want to shed some cap salary on your body, how do you do it, Smitty?
You go to Custom Health Centers. If you're feeling tired, depressed, or unmotivated, low sex drive, muscle loss, or belly fat, testosterone optimization therapy is a safe and effective way to restore your vitality, confidence, and performance, and reduce heart disease. Visit CustomHealthCenters.com today. That's CustomHealthCenters.com.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
What up, though? Welcome back to WoodwardSports.com. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by my guy Spin Mo Rex.
What up, though?
We got the Woodward Heavyweights. We got young Chris in the TV booth. JB Smooth. If you guys haven't already, please make sure you hit that like button while you're watching live. And if you aren't watching live and you listen to us on an audio podcast platform, please make sure to leave the boys a 5-star review. It means the world.
5-star.
Star for the bottom. Now we here.
5-star.
Now we have a guest to talk NFL draft later on today. It's going to be PFF and NBC's Connor Rogers join the show here shortly. But last week, E&E had Tim Twentyman on.
Yeah.
Who never returns our text. Connor Rogers returned a text. Tim Twentyman. I guess he's too big.
I guess he's big time for us.
Too big time for us.
Yeah.
But within that interview and during that week, the Tyree Wilson hype was kind of going on.
Mm-hmm.
And Tim Twentyman's sell of Tyree Wilson was the run defense and the arms and all that good stuff like that. But you and I know the run defense isn't that much in jeopardy.
Yeah, it's not as bad as you'd think.
Not at all.
You saw what they did last year against running backs like Saquon Barkley, Dalvin Cook.
Yep.
The Bears, other than Justin Fields.
Yeah.
I guess he's technically a running back. Fuck you, Bears. No, but it wasn't as bad. Yeah, they got exposed in Carolina, but that's what happens when you don't have a stud interior defensive lineman to put up. Like, Aleem's great, don't get me wrong, but you don't got that blue chip in the middle. That's where you get gashed in the running game. That's where the Carolina Panthers gashed you. And it's not something that is – I'm not drafting a defensive end 6th overall because he's good in the run game.
Yeah.
That's not why I'm drafting an edge, is because of what he can do in the run game. You draft an edge, you draft somebody of that caliber 6th overall because they ripped the quarterback's head off. Jalen Carter is a different story because – that is one of his main objectives. Like, if you're saying I'm drafting Tyree Wilson and putting him inside, having him play inside, I don't know. I'd have to look at it and I'd have to think about it. I think that would be misusing his talent. But we don't need edge rushing run defenders. We need an inside run defender.
Yeah.
And that's what I look at it as, is I'm not drafting an edge because they're good in the run.
Yeah, and I don't even think the Detroit Lions necessarily are that down bad in the run game either. I looked at the numbers from last year, and of course I'm going to go off of after the Dallas game, because before then the defense was horrendous. They're on pace to be the worst in NFL history in Everdom, and it was rough. But following that week after the bye week against Dallas, which Dallas got a couple of extra opportunities at running the football too, because one, the fumble by Jamal, the interception by Goff in that game too. Did he have 2 interceptions, just a one?
I'm not sure.
I think it's just off the top of my head, just the one. But nonetheless, Detroit Lions' run defense was phenomenal from that game moving forward. In fact, only one team then after ran over 100 yards on them, and it was obviously the Carolina Panthers. Fucking ran through them like a Tiana Trump gangbang. I don't know how else you want to put that one. It was bad. But only 6 teams in total on the year ran for over 100 yards on the Detroit Lions. And at least as running backs. The quarterbacks, like I said, different conversation.
Different story.
You want to include that? Sure. But in the run defense, I'm not looking at it as like the quarterbacks. I'm looking at the run game. You know what I'm saying? You're the running backs. The Detroit Lions did really, really well after that. And I think it was 82 yards per game is what they averaged after the Dallas game, which was pretty good.
Yeah.
And that's with like a less talented front, I'd say. Obviously, we want to address the defensive tackle position at some point during this draft. So I'm assuming that's going to get upgraded and bumped either way. Malcolm Rodriguez is going to have a year too. I think James Houston's going to get better as a run defender, because that's obviously the goal for him if he wants to stay on the field for all 3 downs.
Yeah.
To me, I'm not sold on Tyree Wilson's run defense as the reason to take him at number 6, especially in a situation where Jalen Carter may or may not be on the board. It just that's not a sell for me. The Detroit Lions aren't lacking in run defense. They do really well against the run.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. That is not a reason that you put somebody like that in your team. Like, oh, I love this edge defense, like his run stopping. Like, no, that doesn't lift you in the board over a guy like Jalen Carter. If you're telling me you're taking him over Jalen Carter because of his run stopping acumen, I'm like, all right, stop. Please stop. Because what they need most is interior defensive line. And I understand that Tyree Wilson is a big dude. He can be moved around. His versatility is something to speak of, but it's not a catapulting factor to push him into the top 6 is that he's good against the run from an edge position.
Yeah, it's not the sell for me.
Yeah.
And again, all due respect to Tyree Wilson, I hope he has a good career. Not good enough to where we look like clowns up here, judging him as a pick at 6. But we have Tyree Wilson at home with Romeo Okwara, Julian Okwara, John Kaminsky. These are all Josh Pascal. These are all edge defenders that can play the run really well, or at least good enough. Well, I don't need to invest a pick in Tyree Wilson. I just don't. In a situation where I want to trade back. If Brad Holmes sitting there and Tyree Wilson's there and Jalen Carter's gone, Will Anderson's gone, and whoever else we want is gone, trade back.
Yeah.
I don't want to invest a number 6 pick into Tyree Wilson. If Brad Holmes does it, it is what it is. I could see the reasons why. I could see the upside. I'm just not sold on the upside coming true to life.
A lot of teams love it. I was hearing today on my ride in that Tyree Wilson might be the first edge off the board in front of Will Anderson. That's why I can't wait to ask Connor Rogers about that, but I don't see it, man. You need to improve your interior rush defense with a stud interior defensive lineman, but having a edge that's good at stopping the run, it helps, but that's not a selling point to take somebody that high in the draft.
Yeah, I think Team Cat 53 has it perfectly in the Woodward Sports chat. It says Tyree Wilson will be okay. I'm not trying to get okay.
Yes.
And that's exactly where I'm at too. If I have a top 10 pick, I'm trying to maximize the value of that pick, whether that be in an actual player, like a name like Jalen Carter, or possibly Will Anderson, like you hinted to, or if it's a maximum value in trading back. Because, again, top 10 picks hold a lot more value than they do if you're pick number 10 or pick number 12. Like last year, Brad Holmes moved to 12 to grab Jameson Williams. Granted, we can't all name every single trade, right off the top of our head, but, like, do you remember what the hell he didn't really give up much.
It was like swaps.
Yeah, it was more so swaps. When you have a top 10 pick, that's when you start grasping for a little bit more, especially if a team's coming all the way back from the teens or 20s. Like, all right, give me another first on next year.
Yeah.
Give me a lottery ticket for Caleb Williams. You want to move up here to top 10. Granted, again, the way we felt these players top 10 after 6, like, all questions mark. I don't know that anybody's going to want to trade up. But I'd rather take a Devon Witherspoon. I'd rather take the number one corner off the board. Or not for sure. I guess there's debates out there about Christian Gonzalez. But I'd rather take the number one perceived corner off the board and Devon Witherspoon or Christian Gonzalez than a guy who's, I don't even know if he's the second best Tyree Wilson. He's just the most physically gifted guy. I mean, off the line, again, you watch the tape, he's like the last one.
Yeah.
But he is blessed with phenomenal length. He is blessed with phenomenal strength. And ultimately, he's able to make plays at the college football level.
Those are the things you hear about him, that he's just this giant guy. He's got a huge wingspan. He's got a great motor. And he is versatile where you can move him around the defensive lines. So that is something that obviously would entice people. But I want Jalen Carter, man. That's what you need. Everything about him is what you need for this defense.
I get excited about the thought of it, man, every time. And I try to pace myself a little bit with that one, too, because it may not happen. It may not happen because of how gifted he is. And fortunately enough, we do have a draft analyst joining us shortly. We're going to get to ask Connor Rogers what he thinks about the situation about Jalen Carter. And if they pass up on him, I want to know, all right, who else is there? Who else can we start looking at or get excited about? And I want to do that, too, but not before we go to a quick break. I want to get this extra time in with him. Spinny, can you tell us about Guardian Alarm?
I will, because Guardian Alarm offers you customized solutions from real experts. Their professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. They also have 24/7 professional monitoring. You can call them anytime, day or night, and know a Guardian Alarm team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. And of course, they have technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology. It's been proven to work, and people have been proven to care. So call them at 1-800
Stay Out.
That's 1-800
Stay Out
right now, and let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
You've heard of Gordon Ramsay. You've heard of Bobby Flay. But Thursday night Master Chef Brad Holmes will be in the kitchen with all of the ingredients needed to make a great dish on draft night. Join Woodward Sports for our 3rd annual Woodward Sports Draft Party live at 5th Avenue in Royal Oak. The past 2 years, these parties have been standing room only. So get your tickets early at eventbrite.com. Don't miss out on all the fun with Braylon Edwards, Ryan Ermanni, Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, and the entire Woodward Sports crew. The party starts at 7:30 p.m. Don't miss the biggest draft party in the Motor City. Brought to you by the biggest network, Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars, one for you, one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Let one of our talented, award-winning stylists make you look handsome and clean. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
What up, though? Welcome back to WoodwardSports.com. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by my guy Spin Mo Rats.
What up, though?
We are the Woodward Heavyweights. We got young Chris in the TD booth, JB Smooth on 1s and 2s, and joining us from the phone lines, the Planet Fitness phone lines, my guy, Connor Rogers. Thank you, man, for tapping in.
No problem, guys. Thanks for having me. How we doing?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Can't complain. Getting ready. What are we, 10 days out? What's not to be excited about right now?
Oh, yeah. It's crunch time right now. We're ready to go.
Shit's going crazy too. All the rumors change. I feel like, I mean, you do a show too, obviously with the podcast. I feel like at this time of the draft period, like rumors just swirl like crazy. Start hearing the craziest scenarios just because people almost get bored of like what they've been talking about. Am I wrong?
People get no. You're not wrong. I mean, I've had some crazy stuff told to me over the years, this time of year, and I've been in the business long enough now to know to pretty much avoid most of it unless it's somebody that's in your inner circle. And you know, it's a couple of things, right? From the media side, people could be bored or looking to generate conversation. From the actual NFL side, especially with teams and regimes, they might be trying to manipulate things or try to send smoke out there to throw off other teams or throw off a coverage of the draft as well. So it's a lot of different layers that make this the best theater in the NFL, honestly. That's why the draft gets bigger each and every single year. As much as we love actually watching the games, the draft grows because it is theater, it's drama, and it's just expect the unexpected for the NFL draft.
So yeah, we actually just got done talking about this, and we've seen a lot of different speculation being thrown around on the edge ranking prospects for this draft. Chris Sims had Tyree Wilson as his number 1 edge in this draft over a Will Anderson. If it happens, it boils down to the Lions getting Tyree Wilson with that number 6 pick. Is that a loss or is that a miss if someone like Jalen Carter is still on the board?
That's a great question because there's so much to unpack with Carter, right? That's the difficult nature of it is that, you know, unless you truly are around the person, speak to the faculty at Georgia, the staff at Georgia, you know, really get to know him and not just do a quick combine interview, but bring him in for a visit, which if you're not picking in the top 10, he wouldn't grant you that, which makes this process with Jalen Carter that much harder. And you know, the background's difficult, and background is what people miss on, including NFL teams, the most throughout the scouting process. Because if a guy isn't dialed in, you can't survive at the NFL level. It's just too difficult. Nobody thrives off of talent, and not for multiple years at least at the NFL level. So and with Tyree Wilson, you don't have any of those question marks. I mean, as much as he's not the same caliber player as Jalen Carter, then you know, at least you know he's going to show up. He's locked in. There's a lot of room to grow into an even better player because right now he's winning with power and length. He doesn't really even have a pass rush plan. So that's why it's so difficult where I could sit here and tell you it'd be a colossal mistake and that Jalen Carter is bound for 8 Pro Bowls in his career. And based on talent, you could easily say that. But we don't know what version of Jalen Carter is going to arrive to the NFL. Now, what I will add to your question is if you took Tyree Wilson over Devin Witherspoon, I think that would be a colossal mistake because I think Witherspoon is a pro-ready superstar corner, honestly. He has that level of talent. He has great tape. He's got speed. He's got a mentality that can completely change your attitude on the back end. And I like Tyree Wilson, too. I'm not even a Tyree Wilson hater, but I think when you're looking at 6, that would be my selection over him.
Okay.
That's crazy. That's literally what I just got done saying. And I was actually like kind of at a loss who to choose the number one corner spot between him and Gonzalez until I actually listened to your interview with Devon Witherspoon. It felt like he had that dog in him.
He's a different cat, let me tell you that. And you got to realize when I did that interview with him, he had gone through a long circuit at the Combine, much longer than anybody else, where, you know, that day you get there in the morning and you're talking to different players. I got to interview Gonzalez at like 9:30 a.m. or 10 a.m. or whatever it is. And, you know, with Witherspoon, he didn't come out till everybody was pretty much done for the day, because sometimes medical checks take longer, depending when you're going. It could be a line, there could be something holding it up. And he's a guy that, because of his talent, and everybody wanted to talk to him, so he had a million meetings the night before, and he still has that kind of mentality, that kind of energy. And the stories, you know, of him at practice at Illinois and the kind of program, you know, the kind of mentality that he changed with that program defensively, how they went about their weeks, is special stuff. So I love Christian Gonzalez, and I think anybody that takes him in the top 10 will get a really good NFL player with length, athleticism, and technique. But with Witherspoon, it just feels like there's something different about him. Despite him not being the biggest corner, he plays so much bigger than his size.
And I wanted to ask you this before we veered off too far from the defensive tackle conversation. But if they did pass on Carter because of whatever reasons, whether it be like off the field or him not giving his all at the pro day, how far is the drop off between he and a Mozzie Smith or a Keanu Benton? Like, who is the next name up, and how far is the gap in talent?
It's Kalijah Campbell, and, you know, I look at Carter, I think he is the most talented player in the draft, but he's still my number 3 overall player because of the questions that linger with him, that I feel more comfortable putting Will Anderson and Bryce Young ahead of him. But you look at Campbell, I mean, I think I'm probably high man on Campbell. I have him as 14th overall. I think he's a difference maker. It's just a matter, depending on your scheme, what you play. Like, not every NFL team, every NFL defensive coordinator is going to draft and consistently put out a 280-pound defensive tackler, or whatever he ultimately lands on playing at. But if you are in a front four that it has the green light to attack and you're constantly working upfield, this guy is special. I mean, the agility, the ability to win with a very, very wide array of pass rush moves. And he's not a bad run defender. He doesn't get run over in the run game. If you want him to sit there in two-gap and stalemate against guards and centers, well, then why did you take him in the first place? If you wanted to shoot gaps and get into the backfield and blow up plays, Kalijah Campbell is for you. So I think the gap between him and Carter's just so unique that there is a big gap there. What I'm more fascinated by is the gap between Campbell and then the next group is massive. Brzee didn't have a good year. You look at Keanu Benton, he's a nice player on day 2. Mozzie Smith, it's so interesting to me. Everybody loves him in the first round. I just didn't think he dominated like that. I didn't think he holds against double teams. I think he's got great athleticism and splash plays, and it feels like there's a little bit more meat on the bone there to grow as a pass rusher, but I didn't see a dominant defensive tackle. So after Carter and Campbell, there's a sizable gap.
Yeah, and I've been a Carter guy the whole time. When the Lions looked like they were picking in the top 3 with their own pick at the beginning of the year, I was like, I want Jalen Carter on this team. Where would you rank him amongst other interior defensive lineman prospects that have come out of the past few drafts, talking about guys like Quinnen Williams, even all the way back to an Ndamukong Suh or an Aaron Donald?
Yeah, I go back to Suh, right? Really, that's it. And, you know, you look at the guys that, since I've been doing this professionally, I liked Quinnen. I think he's a better prospect than Quinnen. I just don't. And you know, I'm here covering the Jets pre and post game, and Quinnen's molded into a fantastic NFL player. But Carter just has these stretches of being completely unblockable, and he can beat you pretty much in any way he wants. Whether it's quickness off the ball, whether it's ripping through blockers, whether it's the bull rush. He can hold the point of attack. There's really nothing he can't do, and he was doing this in the SEC. It's not like he dominated a lower level of competition like we saw with, you know, Ed Oliver at times when he was coming out of Houston. So I really do think it's Suh, and you know, Suh kind of had a reputation of being a different personality as well, which makes this fascinating. So I think with Carter, you know, this is the way the NFL is, guys. You know, when you look at these interior defensive linemen that could take over games, there's not a lot of them. It's Quinnen Williams, Dexter Lawrence, Jeffrey Simmons, Chris Jones, Aaron Donald. You know, maybe I missed 1 or 2 in that conversation, but not every team has one. Not even half the teams in the league have one, and that's what makes Jalen Carter so polarizing and honestly tantalizing.
I would rush the podium, but again, I don't know. Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, we're still trying to figure out like what type of players they're looking for. It's like high football IQ, or is it just genuinely good guys? But I think it's the latter. I think it's the guys that just put it all out on the field. But moving on from Jalen Carter, I did want to ask about another position need, seemingly for us Detroit Lions fans, is the linebacker position. I and my colleague, and actually Braylon Edwards on the show as well too, but we're not the biggest fans of Jack Campbell, but we consistently see him in these rankings as like the number 1 linebacker to number 2 linebacker. But I just don't see his prototype in the NFL at a successful level. What is it with Jack Campbell that you could maybe sell us on, or what are we missing in the observations of him?
There's just no bad tape. And when it comes down to it, he always understands where to be, and he has excellent instincts. And then you look at, how he tested, well, then you feel comfortable with it. Because you look at it and go, okay, well, maybe he's not the same athlete as a Trenton Simpson, right? Not this guy that's going to be a complete blazer and have insane athleticism to make game-changing plays. But he doesn't make the bad plays. He always seems to set up his teammates around him for success. He honestly, this is the thing, guys, with college right now. All of these linebackers are about 6'1", 220 to 230 pounds, and then you get to the NFL game, and plenty of teams are starting to run north and south, and you have these giant guards and centers pulling to you and getting in your face at the second level. Campbell's 6'4", 250, and doesn't really give up anything in the agilities. He has excellent lateral agility, so it's kind of that mold where can you keep him on the field? And is he a guy that's going to line up in man coverage and run wheel routes against running backs? No, it's not what you want him to do, but can he drop in zone and have the awareness and eyes to read the quarterbacks and hit the hole and take on big-time blockers and let everybody kind of, have obviously everybody flow to the ball around him because he has that big body to clear space. So that's why people like Campbell, because if you don't get him, there's not a lot of linebackers with that kind of size and mentality in this draft.
Yeah, and looking at linebackers, I think in my first mock draft that I did for the Lions, I had us picking Deion Henley with their second pick in the second round, and he has been just shooting up draft boards. I had him as I think he's the best coverage linebacker in the draft. Doesn't get as much shine because he's out of Wazoo and not one of these big schools in the SEC or something like that. But what could Deion Henley bring to a team, and what are really his strengths as you see him in the NFL?
You nailed it with the coverage, and he's a really, really good player, right? His ability to take away the flats, run down the seam, flip his hips, and be that sideline-to-sideline kind of chase speed. If you are deploying the defense where you feel like he's going to have the freedom to run around and make plays and run and chase, I mean, Deion Henley will be for you. And I like the value they got out of Malcolm Rodriguez last year, and I think Rodriguez is a guy that can kind of stick his nose and doing some of the dirty work and allow people to roam around him. So when you look at Deion Henley, he's somebody that just incredible explosive athleticism. He can kick out to the slot when guys motion out. He can do a lot of different things for you and stay on the field for all 3 downs.
Whatever happened with the hype around Trent Simpson? Like, wasn't he supposed to be like the number 1 guy in terms of like the linebacking class? Like, what happened that died down?
And look at the trend of the defenders from Clemson, right? It's all the same. Brian Brzee, former number 1 recruit, supposed to be a top 10 pick. Miles Murphy, who's still going to go in the first round. Miles Murphy was supposed to be a top 5 pick. Trenton Simpson, supposed to be the first linebacker off the board. It's amazing the trend with that defense where, honestly, not all of it is their fault. That scheme is ugly to watch. They put him at Mike backer a ton this year. He's not a Mike linebacker. He's an outside linebacker that – it goes back to the Deion Henley conversation. Do you grant him the freedom to play to his athleticism, see ball, get ball, cover, blitz, do a lot of different things for you rather than just sit in the middle of the field, take on contact, constant north and south runs coming at you, guys climbing to you where you're this welterweight fighter in this super heavyweight arena. That's what happened to Simpson this year. I still really, really like him and his potential, and just think that defense did not set him up to make any plays. So I don't think he's a first-round caliber player, but when you look at the upside with him and what he gives you right now, I mean, if you stick him at outside linebacker, he'll be a really serviceable starter with room to grow, and that's why he'll probably go in the second round.
And we've heard a lot of different things in the past 2 weeks about what's going on with that top 5 of the draft. The Cardinals apparently shopping the pick. The Lions were interested in that. They picked up the phone and called them. Now the Texans apparently shopping their pick because they're not in love with any quarterback not named Bryce Young. How much would it take, or how much capital would it take for a team like the Lions to move up from 6 into that top 3 to maybe take a shot at their quarterback of the future?
It's a good question because it always depends on the demand, right? How many calls are the Texans or the Cardinals getting, and are they comfortable moving that far back? Because you have to look at it and know, what is Seattle going to do? That's kind of the wild card. Because you know the Colts are going to take a quarterback. So you're really looking at Seattle as that next team. A lot of people think Seattle's the team that's comfortable taking Jalen Carter at 5. So that might impact the team going that far back. They'd rather say, hey, we'll sit here and take Jalen Carter. Or he's off their board, they don't like him at all, and say, great, we'll move past Seattle, we don't care. So when you look at a jump like that, from, whether it's 6-3, 6-2, if it's not for a quarterback, or even if it is, it usually runs you a package of day 2 picks to do the pick flip. Could be a 2 and a 3, but so much of it comes down to what other teams are offering on the table, and that's why Arizona has dragged this thing out, right? I mean, that's the reality. Arizona has not made the trade that Chicago is willing to do because Arizona needs to kind of allocate how many bidders they have, and they'll take that all the way to Thursday if they have to.
Yeah, I thought Chicago dropped the ball on not doing that. I thought they could have held out until somebody was willing to outbid the Panthers move and so on and so forth.
Well, you look at the Texans right now, who seem to be just devastated by not getting Bryce Young. And it goes to your point that maybe they would have ponied up a lot for a pick swap. And then if you're Chicago, you sat there and you did the pick flip and you didn't get the same return. You didn't get DJ Moore and you didn't get all these picks, but you got some capital. And then you can move out of 2 again, or you could take who you think is the best player in the draft. It's not a quarterback. So I like Chicago's return, but you do wonder what the disadvantages are to doing that so early in the process.
And then I guess because we are kind of on the conversation of linebackers, where do you value that position in today's NFL? Because to me, I look at the best linebackers around the league, and it doesn't always necessarily correlate with success or team success. I know there's a lot more to go with it too. There's a whole offensive side of it too, but Chicago also paid a lot of money for big talent linebackers. But do you see that translating to success for them?
It's a luxury, and I know it's tough to say about a position that there's only so many aliens, right, guys? Would I pay Fred Warner whatever he wants? Absolutely, because the guy can literally do anything. You look at Micah Parsons, who can do incredible things off the ball and then be a top 5 edge rusher in the NFL. There's the aliens that are worth that, but if you're talking about guys that are not even one-dimensional, but maybe they're a really good run defender and a good blitzer, but they can't cover. I mean, that's the problem, is there seems to be limitations at the linebacker position. And, of course, it depends what kind of defense you're employing. But you'll see it in this draft. I don't think an off-ball linebacker goes in the first round. And that kind of speaks to where the NFL is at in this era, because you look at, maybe the last couple of years we've had off-ball linebackers go early. We saw the Steelers trade up for a guy like Devin Bush that hasn't worked out. It feels a little running back-ish that teams don't want to take that risk of missing in round 1. They'd rather chase the depth on day 2 and day 3.
I agree. And then I don't know if you had anything else, Benny, but I had a bone to pick for you to pass on to my guy Trevor Sikkema. What's this guy's obsession with giving my Lions a tight end, whether it's a first round or second round? He's always drafting a tight end to us, man.
After you just traded one too last year, so it seems like the Lions to me seem like a team that's. I'll say this: if they're gonna draft a tight end, it feels like they'll just take a guy that's a bigger wide receiver and they'll kick him off the line of scrimmage and be like, okay, we don't really care about you blocking. We'll have the second or third tight end on the roster handle that duty. So it would have to be somebody that just has this supreme athleticism that fell into their lap. But I look at the Lions and I look at Ben Johnson and how he can be the architect of a great pass game and go, they feel like a team quietly that's kind of poised to take another wide receiver, and everybody's really terrified of dealing with, obviously Amon-Ra, of course, Jameson Williams in a full season, and then that extra wide receiver with all this different talent in the backfield. So I think that's how it'll ultimately shake out for the Lions. I don't think it'll be one of those first-round picks. I think it'll be more a day 2 selection, but that's where the value is in this draft anyway, so that's a smart strategy.
100%. And Trevor, Matt, I'm sorry, I was talking about Trevor. I apologize. Connor, I appreciate you joining us. You guys check him out. Obviously, you got the NFL Stock Exchange on YouTube. Anything else you got going on that you want to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, just all the rankings and writing will be at NBC Sports as well. So it's, that crazy time of year, and it was great talking to you guys. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, appreciate you for coming on, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man.
Later, guys.
See you later.
See you, brother.
It's dope, man. That's a lot of insight.
That is.
It's a lot of insight. That was a great interview.
That was a great get, man. Connor's the man.
Yeah.
Appreciate him for taking the time to hang out with us. I wish we were hanging out at Big Boy, though.
Yeah, Big Boy. You know why? Because Strawberry Fest is back at Big Boy. Try the classic breakfast items like some strawberry hotcakes or mouth-watering red velvet waffle. If you're not feeling breakfast, try the strawberry bacon chicken wrap or cool off with the refreshing summer splash salad. And don't forget to grab dessert, including the berry delicious classic strawberry pie, deep fried vanilla Oreos, or strawberry hot fudge cake, and more at Big Boy.
Saturdays at 1 p.m. Make sure you're watching WoodwardSports.com for our new show, Jumpin' Puck.
He shoots! He scores!
With 4-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty and Michael Gentry, Jumpin' Puck is taking the Detroit hockey community and giving them a voice. pros to Joes, you'll get the best Detroit hockey coverage around. Jumpin' Puck. Saturdays, 1 p.m. on WoodwardSports.com.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Spotless, sanitized rooms with trained and certified tanning professionals. Join the Pepper Club for all the best deals as they beat all competitors by
$5.
$5 easy. Don't forget to pick up Australian Gold, designer skin, Calton, and Swedish beauty lotions. ChiliPeppersTanning.com, the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans. Y'all know where to go. It's ChiliPeppersTanning.com.
What up, though? Welcome back to WoodwardSports.com. I'm your boy Eazy. Join my guy Spinmo Rex.
What up, though?
We got the Woodward Heavyweights. We got young Chris, JB Smooth joining along with us. Shout out to my guy Connor Rogers joining the show. If you guys haven't already, please make sure you drop a like button, 5-star review on all podcast platforms. That was insightful conversation.
For sure.
That was dope.
I like you like how I snuck the couple digs at the Bears there.
Yeah.
I just had to verify or validify those feelings. I really felt like they could have got more for the #1 pick.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was talking shit to him last week, I was like, damn, they really like all that cap space they had to do almost anything they wanted. Like, yeah, let's go get some linebackers. Let's go pay top dollar for linebackers.
Yeah.
When they just had Roquan Smith.
Yeah, a Bears fan was talking shit to me on Twitter, and he posted a clip, and then I posted a clip of the Aiden Hutchinson interception, and I was like, I'll take the W. And he's like, Mickey Mouse, obviously a tank job. Thanks for securing DJ Moore. I was like, bro really said we won 3 games so we could get DJ Moore. Fucking delusional, dude. Like,
they are, man. And to the point where, I think I saw it in the Woodward Sports chat, Ronan said you draft linebackers, not sign them.
Yeah.
Which I'd agree.
Mm-hmm.
Again, like, and Connor hinted to it too, is like, the draft is kind of indicator of like what positions are valued. And that's why we're starting to see like running backs fall into the second round. Like the top tier running backs fall like as late as the second half of the first round or second round. And you heard it from him too. Like, he's expecting not to see an off-ball linebacker until the second round.
Yeah.
Which we've kind of seen these mock drafts as well.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. There's always a lot. If you go by the mock draft, PFF mock draft is what we normally use. There's always that second round group of linebackers is bountiful.
And then here comes the Bears.
Yeah.
Let's go give one $18 million.
Yeah.
Let's give another one $7 million. Like, come on, bro. I'm really, like, all the smoke they're blowing, really not scared over here. Like, not even a little bit.
Not really.
I'm like the fan with the Russell Westbrook interaction. You got to show me, bud. Like, so then it's all talk.
Brandon Katz in the Woodward Sports chat in BDE was like, the Bears are all in this year. They're making moves. I was like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about?
Do you think he's a real person, like a troll?
I don't know, man. I have no idea. Joey calls him a random word generator, which is pretty funny.
He's just he's a clunky AI.
Yeah, he's one of the old generations of AI. Dude, that kid says some wild fucking shit. I'll tell you that.
Is that what he had to say today?
He was talking about just the Bears and shit. And yikes.
Yeah, I'm not tripping off what they got going on at all, too. Like, I feel like Detroit Lions to get themselves a linebacker is probably very comparable to at least TJ Edwards. I don't know how you feel about Tremaine Edmonds, and I think Tremaine Edmonds is a valuable piece too, because he does have that versatility where he has that back half, and I don't know what he ranks as a run defender. You did a little bit more homework on him than me.
Tyree Wilson?
Tremaine Edmonds.
Oh, Tremaine Edmonds. Yeah, no, he's good in the run.
Yeah,
he played his first couple of years at Mike, so he's very capable of stopping the run.
Good, or just like good enough. Yeah. All right.
He's good.
We shall see. The Bears gave him a bag. We'll see if it translates to anything. I don't feel that it will, but we're gonna see. The Trenton Simpson stuff was interesting. That's the conversation I really wanted to have with him too, and he kind of hinted towards it with like all the Clemson defenders. Is like, because Myles Murphy was the next on my question list. Is like, why did he fall? Because we had discussions on here of him being like top 10 pick. Our guy Russell Brown, who usually comes on to talk draft with us, had him as a top 10 like prospect, like as a just like pure like talent, not like he goes here because he fits here. he had him as a top 10 guy.
Yeah.
I think top 5 guy, if I'm not mistaken. I don't want to speak on him for sure because I don't remember for sure, but I think that was a conversation that him and I had. But yeah, it's kind of weird to see him, I'm talking about Myles Murphy, Brise, and now Simpson all just kind of like just randomly fall down the board because he didn't really have an answer for why they did.
It makes sense though. Like they're not in the greatest division. They don't see the best talent. You're seeing them. The best teams that Clemson plays on the year outside of bowl games are normally Notre Dame and Florida State, and like they're not what this isn't Notre Dame of your racist grandpa's years. This isn't Florida. This isn't Florida State when they had a bunch of dogs down there. Like these teams aren't what they used to be. Clemson beats up on weaker competition. Like I look at their schedule this year: Duke, Florida Atlantic, Florida State, Syracuse, Wake Forest, Miami, NC State. Like I'd rather see teams that are playing Alabama, LSU, you look at SEC defenders and they're different and they're graded differently because they're going up against top prospects on both sides of the ball every single week. So you look at Clemson, you're like, yeah, they're dominating, they look great, but they play a weird scheme. They're in a weaker conference and they're playing against subpar competition.
Yeah, and I guess you also have to ask yourself too, in the same way I always kind of do, is like the context of their play too. Like how much of Brian Brise is related to Myles Murphy being along the same defensive line as him? How much is Brian Brise along Myles Murphy contribute to his success as an individual block or attacker too? You know what I'm saying? Like it all kind of correlates with each other. How much freedom does Trenton Simpson have back there to do what he wants because he has a Brian Brise and a Myles Murphy on the defensive line in front of him? And I guess those are the questions that it seems like not just we have, but NFL evaluators have too. And we can't say for sure on the team aspect because we don't know what's going on in war room conversations. But in terms of like NFL draft media, these guys are plummeting.
Yes.
And it's hard to find a reason why. All I know is I guess I'm becoming a little bit hesitant on them too. But if Myles Murphy's there at 18, I don't
hate it.
Yeah, I don't hate it at all too.
Yeah. No, it's tough to grade these guys. Like you look at Calais Cansey and it's like, oh, he dominated that division. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, all right, show me 5 offensive lines that Calais Cansey played against. Show us. And you could probably get 3 NFL prospects off of those 5.
Mm-hmm.
I can get you 3 NFL prospects out of 1 offensive line that Jalen Carter played against.
Yeah.
So there is a difference when you look at these guys and what the type of competition they're playing. And obviously it doesn't all go into that because if you got skill, you got skill. It doesn't matter what college you're from. But when you have a guy who is obviously better and is obviously playing against better competition, it weighs a lot heavier than somebody who's fringe or in that fringe spot to where like, yeah, oh no, I didn't see him go up against, Michigan's offensive line.
Yeah.
Or I didn't see him go up against even USC's offensive line. Like it's not there for me.
And the one comp he had that didn't help my fandom, or I don't know what word I'm looking for, but I like Jalen Carter a lot. And one of my yeah, dude, it's one of my favorite all time.
Yeah.
Man, I really hope the Detroit Lions take him if they are blessed with the opportunity to take him. He opens up so much for you.
Mm-hmm.
I have no questions in the tape. I know that Ermanni and Edwards, while I was pulling in, they had a piece from another guy I respect too, is Rick Spielman, a brother obviously of Chris Spielman, who's with the Detroit Lions organization. He said there was a couple plays you see where he would take off or whatever, but I mean that you and I know that's just part of being a heavy. If the offense is going a little bit fast paced and you're out there a couple downs, I got 2 to 3 good series in me. If we're going any longer than that, your boy's getting kind of tired out there. I'm assuming it's the same with Jalen Carter, but we'll see. We'll see when he finally reaches the NFL. I think the main questions are, what is he off the field? And that kind of translates to another conversation we're going to have when we get back is T.J. Lang heard some things about Jalen Carter. Mm-hmm. He says there's some genuine concerns of his character. And I think that's outside of the accident that happened after the parade. But before we get to that point, Spinny, can you tell us about SMA?
I will, because SMA, or the Sports Marketing Agency, helps spread awareness about mental health or substance abuse. Their new podcast, This is the S Word, helps fight the stigma about seeking help. So if you or somebody you know is struggling, make sure you head to thesportsma.com and get the help you deserve.
Love Woodward Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
What up, though? Welcome back to woodwardsports.com. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by my guy Spinmo Rex.
What up, though?
We are the Woodward Heavyweights. We have the gentleman we made. Pause. Young Chris in the TD booth. JB Smooth with the ones and twos. We're rocking along on a Monday. If you guys haven't already, please bless with the like button. And if you listen to us on a podcast platform, 5-star review would mean the world. Like buttons are easy, right? It's just a click. But like when you're taking the time to put a review, it means a lot. And if you feel like you don't want to like put out a well thought review, type in some random shit. You know how we roll.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us, give us your top 5 PH girls. We're down. Just give us that 5-star review. That's all we're asking. We had some comments about Jalen Carter's character issues in the last segment before break. And there's some new news out, I guess, according to TJ Lang.
It's, yeah, he didn't say anything specifically, but TJ Lang was on 97.1 today, and he was filling in for Rico with Valeni. And, you know, TJ Lang, fellow heavyweight, friend of the network, friend of the show.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's a very cool guy. We met him at the Hard Knocks premiere.
Bought him some brews.
Bought him a brew, yeah. We're talking to him about the show and stuff. It was very cool that he recognized us and knew us. But
that was dope.
He said from his inside, so not like the Lions, because he works for the Lions, but it has nothing to do with what the Lions were saying.
Yeah.
But from his sources in the NFL, which the guy played, you know, over a decade in the NFL, so I'm sure he has very credible sources.
For sure.
That there's more to the Jalen Carter thing than just what has been made public. Like, there are more reasons to doubt his character or question if, you know, he's a good guy or not.
Yeah.
And he said he's about a 6 or 7 out of 10.
Wow.
On the concern factor. God damn. When it comes with Jalen Carter. But he also, you know, he went on to say, like, he loves him as a football player. You look at the tape, but the guy's a freak of nature.
Yeah.
And it's extremely beneficial to get a guy like that on your team. He went on to say that every team kind of needs some guys like that, even if he is an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been saying that for a while. Like, you're not here playing fucking patty cake. You're here to play football. And especially defensive linemen, you should be mean. You should be angry. Now, that doesn't mean go be a dick to your teammates or anything like that. But, yeah, he said it's a little... He said 6 or 7 on his concern factor. But if they still draft him, he would obviously be very happy.
Yeah, and... What else? I mean, again, shout out to TJ, but 6.5, brother. What are we supposed to do with that?
Yeah,
that's right on the ledge of like being okay with it and not. What?
Because
what an unfair number to put on it.
He alluded also to not having really like a solidified veteran on that defensive line to like kind of.
Yes.
You know, help Jalen Carter along. Like, he's like, they have good vets on offense when you look at Jared Goff and Frank Ragnow and Taylor Decker.
I see what you're saying.
But those guys aren't really in contact with Jalen Carter on a day-to-day basis like someone in his own position grouping would be.
That's one of the reasons I wanted like Calais Campbell like so bad for this team, man. It's beyond like what he could bring to you as a player on the field. It was kind of similar to that Rashawn Mathis and Darius Slay relationship where he kind of just like led him into, you know, being a mature veteran in this league. I don't want to use the word hold his hand, but held his hand to become like a superstar defensive back. And Calais Campbell, I don't know if you'd ever put the term superstar on, but I'd say a star at a point.
He's a star for sure.
Everybody's very familiar with Calais Campbell and his resume. He's been around the league a very long time. He's been productive in this league for a very long time, and that was almost would have been the perfect vet for Jalen Carter. That's one of the reasons I really, really wanted that. But it's a great point. I guess we are kind of absent of that, but I will say,
Bugs. I feel like Bugs could play a good role in that.
Yeah.
To where he's been on the kind of going wrong side of it. To where like he wasn't the level of prospect that Jalen Carter was, but going into college, he was a very highly ranked, touted prospect, went to Alabama, had success, got drafted, and then kind of loafed it around until he had a very good year last year in his time with the Lions. So I think that could be a guy that would definitely be, in Jalen Carter's hip pocket. But I see where TJ's coming from, to where they don't really have that established veteran who has been there, done that in the league for a long time. But I'd still, I'm worth it, man. It's worth it. Give me Jalen Carter. You have the flexibility with multiple picks. He is the number one player on the number one biggest position of need on your team. And I'm not, as long as he's not disrupting his teammates, as long as he is not getting into fights even if he's getting into fights, as long as he's not holding it against people, people fight. We saw Lions fight. It happens. You can't be nice and play defensive tackle. It's not how it works. You got to be a little bit of an asshole. You got to be angry to play that position where you're constantly slamming into another dude. Pause. Every single play. You can't just, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. No, I want you to inflict pain and punishment on the offensive line and the quarterback if you're a defensive tackle. So I'd like to think, as someone who's done stupid shit in their past at that age and now realizes, if you want to do things, if you want to go somewhere, you need to fucking buckle down and focus on what you're doing and give everything you have to what you're doing right there. I'd like to think that light will click on in Jalen Carter, and he'll be like, all right, I'm in the NFL. Shit's not sweet anymore. I got to earn my paycheck.
Yeah.
But that's the risk you have to take. That's the risk that is presented with a guy like that, with the character issues behind him.
And again, too, I don't even know, because that's the thing, is we know the speeding. All right, I'm not ready to judge a man's character because he sped in a vehicle.
Yeah, it's not that. I don't care about that.
Yeah, I'm not tripping off that. I guess I just don't. We don't have the information to know where these character questions are coming up from. Is it from the situation that he had against was it Tennessee? Missouri.
Yeah.
Where he's kind of being a dickhead then. Okay.
I'm cool with that. If I saw that on tape, I'd be like, all right, that's a good check. It's a good check box. He's out there chirping teams in the end zone, yeah.
Yeah, but there's a certain point where it just kind of goes too far.
Or be that dude.
Be that guy, but at some point we got to be that kind of mature about the situation. We got business to handle. You can handle some of that on the field. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's where I can see that turning to a negative. But I put it to you this way, and I put it this way multiple times. Is we are absent of that true vet, and Isaiah Buggs can be that true vet, like you said too. But the scenarios where I guess I should say, I could see where you're not going to be around Aiden Hutchinson and just being a jackass the entire time, right? At
or
some
Dan
point,
Campbell or Aaron Glenn.
Exactly. That stuff's got to rub off you at some point. You can't. You ever acted like a jackass in a scenario you just weren't supposed to act like a jackass, and you felt like a jackass? Oh fuck! I gotta I'm kind of acting like a dick. I gotta let me be quiet. Let me shut the fuck up for a minute. That's the type of room and setting I could see him falling into the Detroit Lions organization. Because beyond that too is you also have James Houston, who had to bust his ass and make his way into the league.
Yeah.
You have the new defensive line coach for the Detroit Lions. It's John Scott Jr., I believe it was. And if you guys watched the press conference that Dre Bly had when we got to John Scott Jr., it was Jim Caldwell-esque. I don't know how to explain it, but he felt like that. He falls into the category of a true leader. And if I'm not mistaken, too, I think he used to be a head coach on the resume. I'd have to double check on that. I could be completely wrong on that one. Actually, I'm thinking about the running backs coach, Montgomery.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, he felt like the type of leader you would need to make you not make him proud, but not let him down type of situation. At least that's the vibe that I got from it. And I think the Detroit Lions can, coddle him into being a mature athlete. At the end of the day, The tape shows the guy loves to play football.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's one of the highest traits for Detroit Lions, Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes guy is the FBI. You know, the football intelligence, the football pedigree. And Jalen Carter shows that. Todd McShay was the first one to make everyone alert of the character issues. But along with that, he said it was going to play your ass for you on the field. That's what they're looking for in this football team. And I pray that overshadows any other questions about his character, because I think once he gets along with this team, who, again, yeah, they're picking the top 6, but not because of their failures or shortcomings. They're picking the top 6 because of the extra draft pick they have.
Yes.
So this is a team that's on a mission. And I don't think Jalen Carter's going to find himself falling short of that mission once he joins this team, because they're ready to win some.
How do you feel about Steve Wilds in the Woodward Sports Chat? Sue's not even a Hall of Famer.
Steve Wilds, that's wild. I mean,
he's definitely a Hall of Famer.
Last name suiting for that one. My man is a Hall of Famer. Every single team except for the Dolphins and Lions went to the Super Bowl with him on the squad. And he has the numbers to back it up, too.
Yeah.
Dominic Sue is surefire Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
Not even a question about it.
Not a question.
Why we brought that up in relation to
People
Jalen
were
Carter?
just talking about Sue, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, another thing, too, like you watch the Carter tape, and when he puts his hands on these pro-caliber, like, offensive
and moves
guards.
them.
Yes.
Yes. He is a guy that will move people in a direction they don't want to be moved. And that's what you need on the defensive line.
Unwilling.
It is a guy that takes multiple people to block him. If you try to block him with one guy, he is destroying your play. And it takes multiple people to block him, so it'll be easier for an Aiden Hutchinson, James Houston, Romeo Okwara, Charles Harris, whoever you have on the outside to get after the quarterback.
Woodward Sports Chat. I don't know. I was going to read that one. Sue's outstanding citizen, says Team Cat 53. That's true, too. Sue's all about his biz.
He's a cool guy.
Just an asshole on the field.
I met him in Detroit one time.
Did you?
Yeah, it was. We were having dinner for my grandpa's birthday, and he was like walking through the restaurant. I was real young.
Yeah.
I was like, hey.
That's why I mean, what's one of those guys? Yeah.
It's like, you're killing it. He's like, thanks. I was like, oh shit. Dude, he's fucking huge. Like.
Yeah. Well, I met him at camp when I was 19.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I had the season tickets, like it was like the same thing with Aaron Donald, but like in a mega ray. Like Aaron Donald's what 5? It was 6 foot. But
6 foot, I think. Yeah.
Sue was still like this giant human, and it's not. You hear the term giant human, and you picture maybe sometimes a gut or just like being big presence. Like he had the physique of like just all muscle.
Yeah, he's a freak of nature, dude. He is a freak of nature.
And if Connor Rogers is well noted, very close to our age.
Yes.
To reach the heights of prominence he's made in draft media at this age, at this point, probably knows what he's talking about. For him to Paul and Dominican Sue as a comp.
His only comp.
Yeah. Because you gave him 5-10 years to go back.
Yeah. I said anybody Quinton Williams. He said he was a better prospect than Quinton Williams.
That's the pick, bro.
Has to be.
That's the only way I could see myself being upset with Brad Holmes on draft night is if
they pass up
straight up just pass up on Jalen Carter. Because you know who's going to take him too is the fucking dickheads in Chicago.
Yes.
And all the shit we talked, I can't afford to have to see that man 2 times a year.
Yes.
I just can't.
I agree.
Fuck, man. I just thinking the thought of it pisses me off. That would actually be the only time I'd be pretty pissed off Brad Holmes. And we'd be drinking that night too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably sound like a jackass for sure. But that's the only way.
I'd be pretty upset.
Yeah. Unless it's... No, I'd be upset.
What if it's Will Anderson?
Over Carter?
Mm-hmm.
I'd still be upset.
Because
I like Carter of a prospect even over Anderson. That's actually a question I forgot to ask Connor. Is like...
We can get into this next, but...
What?
Your boy Adam Schefter, JB threw in the chat, just said second quarterback might not go until 4.
Well, yeah, I mean that's the Houston Texans not taking quarterback and going with Anderson. But you're saying this scenario, Will Anderson falls to 6, or you're just asking?
I'm just saying that was something we could talk about.
Yeah, I mean,
Jalen Carter will even be there.
I'm down if you are, but not before I tell you guys about Alta.
Alta.
Because at Alta Equipment,
uptime
matters. Alta Equipment's got everything you need to get the job done. You got a big project coming up. You want to build a Detroit Lions. I forget the word every single time.
Memorial?
Shrine. There you go. Memorial? Geez, did they die? You want to build the Detroit Lions shrine in your backyard? Alta Equipment's got you covered with Alta Rent. Because once again, at Alta Equipment, uptime matters. Make sure you contact them at 844-GO-TO-ALTA. Again, that's 844-GO-TO-ALTA. Alta Equipment.
Uptime
You've
matters.
heard of Gordon Ramsay. You've heard of Bobby Flay. But Thursday night Master Chef Brad Holmes will be in the kitchen with all of the ingredients needed to make a great dish on draft night. Join Woodward Sports for our 3rd annual Woodward Sports Draft Party, live at 5th Avenue in Royal Oak. The past 2 years, these parties have been standing room only, so get your tickets early at eventbrite.com. Don't miss out on all the fun with Braylon Edwards, Ryan Ermanni, Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, and the entire Woodward Sports crew. The party starts at 7:30 p.m. Don't miss the biggest draft party in the Motor City, brought to you by the biggest network, Woodward Sports.
Big Boy Strawberry Fest has officially arrived, and we're here to show you the very best flavors of the season. Satisfy your sweet tooth with our deep-fried vanilla Oreos, strawberry hot fudge cake, and a slice of our classic strawberry pie. But that's not all. Cool off on a refreshing summer splash salad, or savor the flavors of our chicken Caesar wrap and strawberry bacon chicken wrap. And for breakfast lovers, don't miss out on our strawberry hotcakes or our mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Strawberry Fest is something for everyone. Celebrate the sweet season with us at Big Boy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Olafson, DC, the founder of the Custom Health Centers, and we've helped thousands of people learn how easy it is to lose weight and keep it off with our customized weight loss and body contouring programs.
With Custom Health, you don't feel hungry, you eat well. My name is Simeon Timbuk, and I've lost 71 pounds on the program.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
What up, though? Welcome back to WoodwardSports.com. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by my guy Spin Rex.
What up, though?
We are the Woodward heavyweights. We got young Chris in the TD booth. You all right?
Yeah, my chest sore.
Like from working out, you're having a heart attack right now.
No, from working out.
Rubbing your titty on live on there. You gotta say that for OnlyFans, fam. Young Chris in the TD booth, JB Smooth the 1s and 2s. Shout out to Marcelo Ventura in the Woodward Sports chat. I actually gotta give Chris a real quick shout out. I never referred to us as the heavies until Chris is coming every single day saying it. So that is your...
Even Meg has one.
Even Meg, yeah. You got one, Meg.
Oh, you got me fucked up, Spencer. You got me fucked up.
During break, Spinny called Chris the Meg of the show.
Hell no. I'm not taking that disrespect.
Chris, yeah, that's one time. Chris literally went by the term YS for a while.
YS?
Yeah. Oh, I did.
Yeah.
I don't want to bring it back up.
I did.
And then you call him Meg, and that's the one time he's losing his shit.
No.
Nah. What do you guys want to take this one? We got the news from JB. We can talk about the Detroit Lions a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
We give Meg his shine. I know it's something he wants to talk about too.
We're not doing that.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry, but you want to talk about it?
Not if I'm being referred to as that.
As what?
As Meg.
I just want to hear you say it. No, I'm playing. You're saying Adam Schefter's saying the quarterback run might not start until 4.
Might not start until 4. He said Bryce Young's probably the first one off the board, but it's possible that the second quarterback might not come off the board until number 4.
I feel like there is some conversation to be had there, only because we've obviously Jalen Carter's like who we want and the defensive side of the ball, but we've also have always been open. Some people were always open with us too, drafting a quarterback. And if that run doesn't start till 4, that means there's a possibility of, I don't think Stroud would be the name that'd be there, but Anthony Richardson. I'm not, hyping up Levis, but he too.
I feel like the Colts are going to take Will Levis regardless, just because, like...
Doesn't it feel like he's just going to be a Colt?
He is, yeah. Ursa's like, give me that Levis kid.
Yeah.
I put mayo in my coffee, too.
Made me make... He makes, like, music and shit.
Who does?
Jim Irsay. He's got a band and everything.
Of course he does.
Yeah. I mean, you got money like that. You kind of do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, honestly.
So I ain't mad at him. But
he's like the D-Mac of owners. He just does whatever he wants at any time.
You know what's crazy? I'm thinking of like literally though. That is what D-Mac would do.
D-Mac, yeah, that is what D-Mac does.
And D-Mac's such a real one too. He would come to camp and sign $100 bills to get them out because he's a fucking.
Because he's the realist.
Yeah, I like Irsay. I don't care what they say about him. I do want, I guess, keep it football a little bit because the run starts at 4. It does put quarterback possibly back in play for the Detroit Lions.
Mm-hmm.
But is that something you still like want to entertain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I feel like we've got, me too.
We've heard from our inside sources how much they love Anthony Richardson. And
really?
You know, yeah.
From the new one or from the old one?
What? From the old one.
Inside source?
Yeah.
Oh.
And so I'm not like, I still want Jalen Carter. I would, if CJ Stroud was there, I would take CJ Stroud. Anthony Richardson, very raw. Very raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw.
Oh, baby, I like it raw.
So I don't know about all that, but if what Shefty is saying is true, Shefty's been off his shit the past couple of years, though. Ever since that Brady shit went down, he's been lacking. He's getting lapped by people.
And the Dwayne Haskins stuff.
Now he's got Ari Merov to deal with too, on top of Ian Rappaport. Like,
sheesh,
he's getting dunked on a little bit.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, he kind of has.
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see what he's talking about. I wouldn't doubt it. I've heard, we heard the reports of Houston not liking any other quarterback not named Bryce Young.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Arizona's not drafting a quarterback.
Yeah.
So if they can't get rid of those picks, could be Will Anderson, Tyree Wilson right there.
The Tyree Wilson 3?
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
okay, if they can't.
Texans love Tyree Wilson.
Really?
Yeah.
Over Anderson? I thought it was Anderson at 2 if they were going to go somebody.
That's what the report was that we had.
About Anderson?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not buying the Tyree stuff. I mean, I could be wrong. I think I was wrong on this last year, and both within like my little inner circle too is with the Trayvon Walker stuff. A shout out to my guy Morgan Cannon from Pod, but him and I had a conversation. I was like, "There's no way this Walker guy is gonna go." I think I said top 10. He ends up going number 1 overall. Morgan hasn't rubbed that one in yet, but I mean with Witherspoon, I'm sorry, not Witherspoon, but Tyree Wilson's almost the same thing. But here's the thing where I want to halt it a little bit more. Because there's no fucking way. Now that I'm actually thinking about it more, JB, if you could, or see if there's any combine numbers on Tyree Wilson, because I don't think he participated. If I'm not mistaken, he has a foot injury that's kind of held him back from both, I think, even a pro day appearance and the combine. At least with Trayvon Walker, there was the combine numbers to hype yourself up on top of like the measurements. With Wilson, it's kind of just measurements and production this year and whoever the fuck Texas Tech plays. But there's just no fucking way that you're telling me there's zero measurements to go along with just like as drafting him purely off his size and the fucking length of his arms over Will Anderson, who's produced 2 times now in the Alabama defense, and by the way, year 2 playing a different role in the Alabama defense, not rushing off the true outside like the year did the year before. There's no way. There's no way. Did he participate in the combine at all?
So he did, but he only competed or participated in the bench press.
Wow.
And he did 23 reps. So I don't know what
That's
weight
not even a lot.
that was.
That's not a lot for him. Well, he's got real long arms, so like
that's fair.
Makes it harder for sure.
Yeah. But for there to be this much buzz around the kid, and like, because we know how combines work. That's how we end up with Ziggy Ansah.
Yep.
Trayvon Walker ends up going number 1 overall. There's like the exercise, there's the underwear Olympics to add on top of that.
That push.
Yeah.
He has that freakish day. He has freakish, speeds and everything that pushes him up. I think with him, it's his measurables.
Yeah.
It's his size, his arm length, his athleticism, his versatility. And for a team like Arizona or Houston that needs a lot, that have a lot of spaces to fill, a guy like that you can move all around and can do a lot of different things for you could be very intriguing.
And then you see any NFL team leaning on those measurements?
I think the Arizona Cardinals or the Houston Texans will, and I'm just speaking it into existence because I personally wouldn't, but they will.
I don't think they will.
Yes, they. Come on, man. Yes, they will.
Oh, yeah. Totally, they should take them.
Yeah, they.
All that stuff is enough. Yeah.
What the fuck?
What?
Yeah.
Not top 6 pick, but top 3.
Top 3, definitely top 3.
Makes perfect sense.
Not top 6, but top 3 for sure.
Yeah, take Tyree Wilson. Number 2, Texas is definitely doing it. Yeah. I just don't see it, man. I'm not buying
Tyree
the
Wilson.
bullshit with him.
He's your guy.
especially too, like we're seeing like an example of like Jalen Carter. We have like on film for 2 years in a row now, similar to Will Anderson, but 2 years in a row of him being. I'll never forget, and I think Braylon's brought this up too. But I watched the game with Braylon. It's Braylon, Maddie, and I, and a couple of his boys. We watched the national championship game. Were you? What game did you come? We watched the home run derby.
Home run derby, yeah.
I was looking for Jordan Davis because I like the heavy. I'm a heavyweight. I want to see like this kid like be everything he's expected to be.
Mm-hmm.
It was 88 that kept popping off the screen. It's fucking Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
Before I knew it was Jalen Carter, and then Following year again, Jalen Carter being Jalen Carter. Like, for him to produce to that level, the natty level, and you have 2 rings alongside it, and then have like a one bad workout at a pro day, drop him. How does this guy not work out at all? And it's just being coveted.
Skyrocketed.
Yeah, in terms of Tyree Wilson. Like, I'm not buying it, but hey, Texans should. I think he'd be great. Matter of fact, he reminds me of a better version of Davion Clowney. You guys should hop all over that one.
Yeah, he's like J.J. Watt 2.0. Don't you want him again?
Yeah, take him all fucking day. All day.
What if he is just a fucking dog?
I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. It's like he obviously looks like the part, the 35-inch arms, 30, whatever, how fucking long his arms are. He's big, 270 pounds. He's going to, like, luck his way into fucking plays. Like, we've seen it here a little bit with, like, I don't want to disrespect him. He's from here, but Jason Jones, like, you remember he had him as defensive end?
Yeah.
He was just so fucking big that sometimes he ended up, like...
falling into guys.
Yeah, you know, like shit like that.
Or, like, reach out and he just grab the quarterback.
Yeah, he's going to have a few of those because he's a specimen. But, like, in terms of taking him over, like, a surefire guy like William Anderson, Texans should do it.
Yes, they should. Texans should definitely do it.
But I'm not doing it. Not me personally. But again, I guess swerving it back to the quarterback lane, like, because we want Jalen Carter so bad. Is there a quarterback that would be there at 6 that you're taking over Carter?
C.J. Stroud would be the only one for me.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be the only surefire one. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad at Richardson. I have a lot of questions about Anthony Richardson. That's one thing I wanted to ask Connor Rogers is, like, what picks have you gotten wrong and were you able to, like, learn from it? Because obviously I think I've learned a little bit from the league stuff. I obviously still has a career in this league. It's not like Skip Bayless and his Johnny Manziel take.
Yeah.
Manziel's out the league in like 2 years. Willis is still around, but he wasn't like what I thought. I thought he'd have a year in and be better.
Yeah.
But this year he still didn't look that great.
No.
Because it's the second year this year,
no,
right?
It's his first
year. Oh, no, it's his first year.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not tripping at all. Why did I think that for some reason? Yeah, no, I'm tripping. Will still got room to be Will Levis.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Jesus Christ, not that. Malik Willis, the one we thought he was going to be, but number 2 overall. But Anthony Richardson, we have that type of. We can coddle him into being a quarterback that we want him to be, and if he's not, what?
We can coddle
wrong word.
him.
Cuddle him.
No.
Groom him like a discourse.
No, it was
like Discord mod.
What?
That was a good word. It was just funny.
Why?
Because it's like, I don't know. It's like, come on, buddy. Like, you can do it.
We can, though. We have that. 2 years Jared Goff, Anthony Richardson sitting behind him. Like, the worst case scenario with Anthony Richardson, you have fucking Cam Newton and Lamar Jackson.
Jackson. You
can say what you guys want. Still very good fucking football players in their primes. And we're
both MVPs.
Both MVPs. One went to the Super Bowl. Didn't dive on a fumble.
That was.
He'll never live that
He
down.
was getting fucking assassinated by DeMarcus Ware and Von Miller that entire Super Bowl.
I forgot DeMarcus Ware was in the team
yeah,
too.
dude. DeMarcus Ware had like 2.5 sacks.
That is fucking nasty, dude. DeMarcus Ware back in his day.
Yeah.
Fucking beast. Beast of a
You remember when
human
Dwight Freeney was on the Lions?
I do. He's actually straight.
Yeah.
He's actually like still good.
Oh,
on the
yeah.
Lions. Yeah.
I mean, he's one of the greatest sack artists of all time.
The spin move.
Yeah.
Mastered it. Aiden Hutchinson now mastering the spin move too.
He should hit up Dwight Freeney.
Yeah. I guess I want to take that conversation, the quarterback run, again. If it falls to the Detroit Lions, Anthony Richardson or Stroud. If it's Stroud, that's 100%
If it's Stroud, I'm pulling the trigger. Anthony Richardson, I'd probably still take Carter.
Chris? Meg?
We said this before. I'm taking AR over Carter. That's the only quarterback I'm taking over. If I'm going for it, I'm swinging for the fences.
You're not taking Will Levis? Or,
hell no. Not
CJ Stroud?
Nah, I'm not. I'm going bigger, going home with the quarterback. I'm going with Anthony Richardson.
Again, I mean, look at these deals. The one that Jalen Hurt just signed.
Yeah.
Fucking, like, you get a 5th-year option on Richardson. I'd take it all day.
250 million reasons to not.
Yeah, exactly. And again, like, the different prospects from Willis too. Like, I know a lot of people want to say, like, oh, he's Malik Willis. Like, no, this guy's, I think, the heaviest quarterback to enter this year's combine. Was also the fastest quarterback in like the past 20 years. The strongest, the highest. Yeah, like, this is a different specimen.
Had the highest throw too.
And he played at Florida. Yeah. He didn't play at Liberty. He played at Florida.
The measurements are different. It's a different human being. But when we get back, I do want to include Chris because we gave him enough abuse today with a special special topic. Actually, we'll make a Woodward Sports Chat poll for this one too, but not before you tell us about Planet Fitness.
I will, because Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where you can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere. The gym that has always been known for being clean is now cleaner than ever. You can get a full body workout in just 30 minutes of the 30-minute circuit, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all this for just $10 a month, but you can't pull up to Planet Fitness and forget the perks. Because with the Black Card, you get the use of amenities such as unlimited tanning, hydro massage chairs, total body enhancement, along with access to over 2,000 locations worldwide and unlimited guest privileges. So make sure you join in club or online at planetfitness.com. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Get a shot up. This is for the win.
All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
What up there? Welcome back to WoodwardSports.com. Your boy Eazy, joined by my guy Spinmo Rex.
Sports.
We are the Woodward Heavyweights. We got young Chris, 10-second drop. JB Smooth.
That is 10-second drop. 5-star review.
Yes.
Podcasts.
And like buttons.
WoodwardSports.com.
Before we hop into this
subscribe
steamy topic for my guy in the TD booth, I wanted to address a comment over Sports Chat, and they're asking about will Teddy. I forget who asked, but they asked will Teddy B make up his mind? I'm starting to think that rumor was a little bit BS because, like you said, I think that very same week, the Lions specifically said they want to develop a quarterback, not just sign anybody off the street. And then also, if you're Teddy Bridgewater, why wouldn't you take a quote unquote strong offer before the draft, especially because after the draft, like you're losing candidates. You know,
Teddy
your value's plummeting
at
at that point.
Like,
yeah,
XFL's been lit though. I watched a couple games this week.
Are you not the only one? Our guy Noah's been watching it too.
Yeah, it's dope. I mean, they did it's like a shootout, like in the overtime.
Mm-hmm.
They have like 3 chances to get a 2-point conversion.
Yeah,
it's dope. I liked it. I mean, you can't do that in the NFL because it'd be too easy. But
that's smart. I mean, why not?
Don't sleep on the XFL.
XFL's dope.
I'll
USFL, Panthers got a dub. First game of the year, they got the dub. The quarterback, I'm sure Maz talked about. Do you remember his name? I can't remember his name. I feel bad.
Shane Brown or something like that. I'm not 100% sure.
Don't give a shit.
I feel bad.
Don't give enough of a shit to carry on the conversation.
Come on, bro. What are you talking about?
I'm gonna watch the USFL in accident if it's on. Not gonna be appointment viewing. I'll check out XFL though for The Rock. Actually, no, Rock's USFL. No, Rock's XFL. All right.
Josh Love.
Yep.
What a name.
19 to 21, 216 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Let's get him on the show.
They got the dub.
Before they get 600 followers, he's hard to reach.
Hey, the Michigan Panthers have 40.9K followers, so show some respect.
That's crazy. That's wild.
Show some respect.
That's actually a lot.
That is a lot. Almost
they
41K.
Congrats.
They bought him.
I don't know, man.
Look at the interactions.
The XFL's been doing numbers though.
Yeah, XFL. The NFL adopted a couple rules from the XFL. Like they didn't want to admit it, but there's a couple of them that they're putting the competition.
I like the kickoffs.
There's like what'd you say?
I like the kickoffs.
Kickoffs?
Yeah.
What's different about that?
It's like a target zone that you have to hit. You have to get it in between like the 20 and the goal line.
Uh-huh.
And nobody can start running until they catch the ball. But it's not like they only start like 20 yards away or like 10 yards away.
Yeah.
From each other. But you can't go until the receiver catches the ball and takes off.
Huh.
I like it. It's pretty interesting.
Not interesting enough to keep talking about. All right, Chris. Cousin Chris, this one's for you, fam. and everyone in the Woodward Sports Chat, because I saw this topic come across. Shout out to our guy Pistons Talk. Hey, Pistons Talk on the show sometime soon. But obviously, Jaden Ivey had a hell of a year. Actually, this has got a couple conversations stem off of this one. I'm going to start with a different one, actually. What do you think about Jaden Ivey being snubbed out of the Rookie of the Year race? Out of being a top 3?
I mean, I do think that he was third. I will say that he was third. I would ultimately put Paolo and Jalen above him, but just because Jalen finished so strong, Ivy finished strong, but Jalen really picked it up and that team won. The Walker Kessler, again, I'm not going to go crazy over it because he also looked good, and Utah was a pretty good team for most of the year until the last 2-3 weeks when they decided to tank. So I'm not really tripping about him being a finalist. Do I think that he deserved it? Yeah, but I'm not really tripping about it because, again, Walker Kessler was a pretty good rookie. My whole issue with it was, remember going back to it, was Jalen Williams having a hot streak at the time. Looked like a hot streak. It was a couple good weeks, and then him just vaulting all the way to 2. I'd rather look at the sustained season, and Kessler had a great overall season, so I'm not mad at it.
Spinny?
I mean, it is what it is. I think he had a great season. He should definitely be in the top 3, but it's not about who had the best rookie season anymore. It's about who had the best rookie season on the best team.
Yeah.
And that's what it was proven as last year. So,
although Paul's probably going to win it this year, right?
Yeah, I mean, the Magic won 38 games.
Really?
Yeah.
They won 38?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
36, I think. But
35, I thought it was. I mean, I don't know who fucking cares about the Magic, but I had to get you guys the gauge temperature on that one because I wasn't. Obviously, when it happened with Cade, I was really upset. We thought he was Rookie of the Year, but with this one, I wasn't tripping. Obviously, Paulo was Paulo.
I'll be really upset if he doesn't make all rookie first team.
Yeah.
That's where I'm really that's kind of
He's
where
for sure
I'm
all rookie
circling.
first team without a doubt.
Well,
I don't know.
I've heard
projections
some.
that
I've heard some
he's
podcasters talking, and
Who?
yeah.
Who over him?
Don't know offhand,
Jalen
but
Williams?
yeah, Jalen Williams, Matherin. There was some names being thrown around.
I guess the way Ivy ended the season though was just too fire to deny.
He was balling.
Yeah, like balling. You know what I'm saying? Like the numbers were like numbers you see from the All-Star guys.
Mm-hmm.
I have this graph actually. Shout out to my guy Tim. Look at this. So this is this breakdown of Jaden Ivey's case for Rookie of the Year. So Ivey was sensational as a playmaker this year when Cade went down. Early in the season, Ivey responded by posting the 4th best passing creation quality of any rookie in the last decade. And then here's the graph showing that look at that. So Ivey is the bubble right there. You got Luka, Giddey, Ja, Cunningham,
look at it,
and Trey above him.
Yeah,
that's really it.
Yeah.
So that's over Halliburton. That's over all of the rookies over the last decade. That's very impressive.
That is impressive.
That,
especially considering that was his weakest point.
Yeah, I mean, I think his weakest point was his
shot, but
his shot and his turnovers.
Yeah. Is there any numbers on that, Chris?
I mean, he only had.
Well, the playmaking.
Oh, you have it all.
The playmaking kind of bakes it into it.
He averaged 3.2 turnovers this season, so it's not bad.
Yeah.
All right. So do we introduce this topic now, or do we wait to break?
No. You can do it now. Yeah.
All right. Who had the better season?
Rookie season.
Cade Cunningham or Jaden Ivey? Spinny, I know you were back there doing the homework. I got all these numbers from you. Shout out to you. So I'm going to let you take the floor first.
Yeah, I'm still going to go with Cade Cunningham. It's closer than you think, though. You see the numbers right there. You know, the points are, he's about 1 point behind, half an assist behind, but then he's almost 2 rebounds behind. So I look at that. They shot the same percentage from the field. Cade shot, 3% less from three-pointers in one more three-pointer attempted on the season. They both averaged about 3.5 turnovers and 3 fouls per game. So it's very, very close. I'm not mad at you if you choose either one. But I just think Cade, I don't know, he did more, and he was playing more minutes, averaged more points, averaged more rebounds, was much more effective defensively, which is the biggest outlier, the biggest thing that you can hold against the two. I think Cade was much better defensively than Jaden Ivey was, but still, they both had fantastic rookie seasons. I wouldn't I wouldn't be mad at you for choosing either of them.
Yeah. I agree. My only question to that is, does that speak to Jaden Ivey having a very impressive rookie year, or Cade's rookie year being somewhat of a disappointment with the injury and struggling to come back and all of the things? Because we know Cade did have a rough start, but closed it very well.
I think it's more impressive out of Ivey for what we've seen out of Jaden Ivey to shoot like that. Like he shot about 35% from three, which is great. Almost 42% from the field. It's great. He was fantastic as a playmaker and running the offense when he was asked to be the point guard after Cade Cunningham did get hurt. So, but like I said, the one thing is just Cade's versatility defensively is what made it stand out to me.
I agree.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit mix of both. Like, obviously, Cade couldn't get going. And then Cade was also asked to be, like, the number one guy, where Ivey was allowed to, like, ease himself into the situation after Cade Cunningham going down. And then, you know, obviously you get more comfortable with him in certain situations, and he took over. And he excelled very well once he did. But I think, like you said, Cade was maybe a little bit disappointing but because of the injuries, and he took him some time to get going. He was also asked to be the guy from jump, you know. So even with Jeremy Grant on the team too.
Mm-hmm.
I guess having like this question too is like, who had the better team around them? Would you say? Because at one point I wanted to say Cade because I thought, you know, Ivey had a better situation.
I think Ivey.
I think Ivey too.
Yeah, I mean, I think
I don't want to make this comparison.
It really doesn't matter. I think they both. Like, if everyone was healthy other than Cade Cunningham for the whole year, it would be Ivey. But Bogey didn't play the last 20 games.
Mm-hmm.
Stewart didn't play the last 20 games. Alec Burks didn't play the last 10 games, 15 games.
Still played a lot of them.
Yeah, he played a lot of them. But, yeah, I mean, Cade also had Jeremy Grant.
Not for the whole season in trade.
For a majority of the season.
And then you got Wiseman, too.
Yeah, Wiseman, I mean.
But last season, Cade started Luka Garza. Well, not Cade, but showing Cade.
That's a good point.
That's
a big point.
The one consistent in both.
I want to get
big minutes from Corey Joseph.
I want to get Chris's answer, but not before I tell you guys about Swiss Insurance. Swiss Insurance is a place to go for your personal and business protection. Make sure you guys hit up my guy Mark. Actually, I want you to email him and ask him. And if you honestly do, let me know what he says. Email Mark at swissins.com. Ask him who had the better season, rookie season. Cade Cunningham or Jaden Ivey. It's Woodward Heavyweights. We'll be right back.
Saturdays at 1 p.m. Make sure you're watching WoodwardSports.com for our new show, Jumpin' Puck.
He shoots! He scores!
With four-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty and Michael Gentry, Jumpin' Puck is taking the Detroit hockey community and giving them a voice. Pros to Joes, you'll get the best Detroit hockey coverage around. Jumpin' Puck, Saturdays 1 p.m. on WoodwardSports.com.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zaniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard.
Corner, jumper,
Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Where's Dave Tramick? This guy, bro.
Gosh, dang it. Are we doing it?
Yeah, we are.
The Foley Warehouse named Tramick is the home of the original football bowling pin game called Foley. Multiple different ways you can play. They've got $12 open unlimited play and private lane reservation for $120. If you get thirsty, they got a $2 mystery beer vending machine and multiple fully loaded bars for you to choose from. So make sure you go check them out in Hamtramck or visit them online, FoleyWarehouse.com. Not doing a lot to help your Meg case, Chris.
That wasn't a Meg move. That was a cousin move.
But what I was trying to do was record a voice message, but I updated my phone, so like I clicked and held it, and like a little thing popped up. So I was like, edit.
All right, welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights Live at WoodwardSports.com. If you guys haven't already, please bless us with the like button, 5-star reviews on podcast platforms if you're not listening live. But we were, having a little debate, show debate. Who had the better rookie season, Cade Cunningham or Jaden Ivey? You sound like you got Cade Cunningham slightly. You said you wouldn't be mad if someone had Ivey.
Yeah.
Chris, what was your answer?
It's very close. It's a very close race.
Yeah, it's Cade.
I would go with Cade just because just because of multiple reasons. One, the defense, like Spencer pointed out, like a lot of the nerdy advanced analytics will point to Cade, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And also, I think, again, when you have the stat like Cade was double teamed more than Kevin Durant and all of the pressure that Cade had on him that season, I think you would have to pick Cade. You'd have to be more impressed. But Ivey had a great season. This is one that I did not expect. And again, it's the playmaking, the mid-range, everything being at a higher level than I thought. The three-point percentage a little bit higher than I thought as well. But the two impressive things have been the playmaking and shot creation and just that mid-range game. Because if he can do that and he can be an elite level playmaker next to Cade, and you can allow Cade to be off ball and then sometimes also playmake, like I don't know how Pistons fans could not be optimistic about the future of these two, Eazy. I just don't know how.
Let's go to a resident Pistons fan who is not optimistic about the future between these two.
Look, numbers look nice. Same way I'm sure Kyrie Irving's looked really nice. Same way I'm sure Luka's looked nice. But when you put them on the floor together, there's only one basketball to go around. The flow is just different. Like you're not going to show me Ivey's numbers and just automatically translate it to them being the same with Cade Cunningham on the floor with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially knowing Cade, in my opinion, I guess based off his rookie year, and you can only take so much from a rookie year. It is a rookie year. But it's better with the ball in his hands. I don't really see Cade becoming I've got my mouth trying to put it in before the show ended, but I don't really see Cade becoming Cade was kind of disappointing from the 3-point. I will say in his rookie year, I expected him to shoot. Well, we see him hit it down, but not consistently enough. He also was like the number one point of attack for defenses too, which I'm sure affected that as well. But I haven't seen enough out of either or in the 3-point field to feel like it's going to work in terms of like having one guy become a catch and shoot guy, while on the court together. Can it work? I'm sure it will work to an extent because they're both extremely talented and like you're going to see playoff runs and stuff like that. But like for me, as a guy who witnessed a championship here in Detroit in 2004. That being like birthing me into like a basketball fan. By the way, Devin Booker playing fantastic team ball last night. That was beautiful to see. You saw the 2004 Pistons out of him too, but
he's playing great defense.
In a loss.
Yeah, in a loss. I just don't know if it translates like a championship. But then again, we're gonna get Wemby. I hope we're gonna get Wemby, and things may like translate or fall into something else from there. Like I'm just not optimistic in terms of like a championship. Now, can we see it be successful and like? This is just a weird thing off the top of my head, but like maybe like the Thunder, how they were just balling, but didn't equate to championship. They made the finals. I don't know that the Cade and Ivey pairing as like your 1 and 2 would be a finals comp, but I don't know. I don't see it as a championship.
I think Wemby with Cade and Ivey would be pretty similar to that.
The OKC, team. Yeah. And that's different. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why like I had to back off the pairing argument because like the story's not done being written.
Yeah.
There may be somebody put on this team and one of those guys falls back into like the 3 and not even the number 2 or 1. And that'd be obviously a situation they got Victor Wembanyama or like who knows? Maybe they trade for KD. KD to the D. Say it with me. I'm playing, but that's how I feel about it. I guess we have to see it flow together. Again, Kyrie, great player. Luka, great player. On the court together didn't necessarily translate to wins. Actually, literally didn't translate to wins. Now, is that a big enough sample size to say they're not going to work? Maybe not, but that's just how I feel about the pairing of 2 guards. I thought the ideal pairing of 2 guards would be the situation you had in Atlanta when you had Trey as the offensive threat and you had Murray who could both be offensive but more defensively too. Like he didn't necessarily need the ball.
And it didn't work, so you're wrong.
And it didn't work. But again, but that was one I was hopeful to, what I'm saying, to work. It's just too... In my mind, ball-dominant guys is not a recipe for success.
I think Cade Cunningham can do really anything on the basketball court. And he
I agree.
Can make it work with a lot of different players. And I think you're kind of I don't know, there's a lot of possessions to go around. There's a lot of time where they're not going to be on the same court together.
Mm-hmm.
Like
staggering minutes.
Yeah, staggering minutes. And even when they're on the court together, they're going to have a lot of offensive possessions. They're going to have a lot of transition opportunities. It's not just going to be, Cade has to bring it up every single time or Ivey has to bring it up every single time. Like, different things will work. And having Ivey on the wing with a shooter, now you have multiple shooters with Alec Burks and Bojan Bogdanovic, whoever you have out there, and then a lob threat, a rolling defender, somebody like that.
Mm-hmm.
The pieces fit together. They do. And it's Ivey's not a guy you can just, like, sit there and forget about. Like, he shot almost 35% from 3 his rookie year, which was better than most were expecting.
For sure.
He showed that he can knock it down consistently, and if you forget about him, he's not only going to be able to take the open shot, but he'll be able to cut to the basket where he's going to be found on a great pass from a distributor like Cade Cunningham. So I think, I don't know, you focus on it too much of like, there's only one ball. Yeah, but it's two guys. It's not like you have four of them. It's not like they all need the ball in their hands at all times. Like, they can alternate possessions on who's taking the ball up the court. They're going to get a lot of possessions together.
I've just seen more scenarios where guys need balls to be successful, or in terms of like winning games, not work out in the long run. And I'm talking guys and talented guys too. John Wall, Bradley Beal. That didn't work out in the long run. Now some of that you could maybe say to injury.
But I feel like that would be a better fit for you than Cade and I. Like Bradley Beal isn't a guy who needs the ball in his hands. That's a guy who can catch and shoot with the best in the league.
Great point.
And John Wall really was never known for his shooting. He was a distributing slasher.
Yeah, great point. And then number two,
also Wizards
you also go
management
to what were you saying?
Also, the Wizards management was very poor and failed to surround them with anything.
And maybe it's because you're asking Beal to be a 2, and he really wasn't at that level. You know what I'm saying? To win all the way with. Who knows? But the other pairing guys we'll move on to, and I'm fucking forgetting off the top of my head. God damn it.
It's okay.
I had till Chris interrupted me, piece of shit.
While you're thinking of it, the one thing I want to point out with the Dallas
my
thing
favorite player, Dame. Well, my favorite player is Dame. Dame and CJ.
Again, CJ McCollum is very capable of playing off ball. A very good shooter on the catch and shoot. Damian Lillard is obviously one of the best shooters in league history. Like,
and even that one didn't work out. I just don't want that to be
you just don't want two superstar guards or two good guards together?
I'd like to have a wing as like my 2. A wing or like obviously Wemby.
Yeah, and you still have a lot of time to do
that. That comes down to roster construction. Like, and also the pairing with Dame and CJ, terrible defensively. Like neither one of them. Ivey and Cade both project to be good defenders. So, there are some differences there. And with Dallas and Luka and Kyrie, like, I don't think Cade's going to dominate the ball like Luka does. Like, I just don't think, even though the system's built around him, it's not going to be to that level, which is going to open up more possessions. And I don't think Ivey's going to dominate to the level that Kyrie does. And also that roster is incomplete. So I feel like judging the Dallas thing is a little unfair.
I feel like Cade is a guy who, in my opinion, is going to need the ball to dominate. I'm not even talking about necessarily like just scoring all the time too, but facilitating as well. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, fitting within like the flow of the game at that point too.
I think Luka's just as much of a cancer as Kyrie, honestly.
I don't think so at all.
He's starting to get there.
Disagree.
He's starting to get there.
No. Yeah. Kyrie's so much more of a cancer.
Well, like organizationally, but I mean like on the court.
It's very hard to win with heliocentric players.
Exactly. Yeah, like on court. Obviously, Kyrie has a lot more going on with his social life and off-court stuff. No, Giannis was a fantastic distributor this year.
I think Luka's a fantastic distributor.
Yeah, but Luka runs isolation, high pick and rolls. That's all he does. Like, Giannis gets to the basket and breaks down the defense. Luka's standing dribble on the perimeter for 10 seconds.
Yeah. He gets to the basket, though.
Yeah, but
it's not in the same fashion as Giannis.
Not in the same
Giannis,
fashion,
I guess, like something.
Giannis is different.
Yeah.
Giannis is also a defensive player of the year. Like,
yeah. Yeah. I feel like the heliocentric stuff could work with the right pieces around it. I guess is like where I'm at with it.
But it'll never take you past where the Mavs got last year. Like, Luka had the right pieces around him for a heliocentric player to run his offense and run his one-man show 2 years ago with all the wing guys and Brunson as a solid, secondary scoring option when you need it. And it only got him as far as the conference finals.
I will say the team ball from the Warriors was great.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard for Luka to overcome, but that's because that's that team ball. That's the same thing over
exactly.
Pistons.
That's a more winning recipe.
And that's why I brought up Cade's 3-point percentage. That's the only thing I was disappointed out of his rookie season. The rest of it you can make sense of because like the situation he's put in, and maybe the 3-point percentage you make sense of too because of the same situation. But that was the one thing I was disappointed in. And that was a little bit higher. Yeah. I'd feel a lot better about the situation.
Zakwa makes a good point. Luka is Harden 2.0.
I agree. That's fair.
All right, but that'll do it for us today. We appreciate you all tapping in.
Hold on, one more revisiting the Harden-Ayton conversation we had a while back.
Yeah,
it's hard.
Yeah, it's honestly lose-lose, but I'd still probably take Ayton because he's younger.
God damn it. All right, good. Wrap it up.
But that'll do it for us today. We appreciate you all tapping into the Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com.
He's one minute.
For the man to my left, the one and only Speak Easy, Chris Platty in the TD booth, JV Smooth on the ones and twos. I'm Spencer Raxter. We are the Woodward Heavyweights, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.